Hello, my little fantasy nerds.
Hello, my little fantasy nerds.
Please join us for another episode of
Dungeon Crawlers,
where I once again try to kill my entire party.
Yay.
So, where we left off with a recap, the party managed to infiltrate Mugthal after talking to the human army that seemed to be invading from the south. You worked out kind of a half deal type deal, that if you could get in there and get the job done before they got in, that maybe you could get some kind of cut or money or take whatever you guys wanted. You guys made your way into the war camp. Freya and Morn made their way to the warlock's hut that was housing the females, or so they thought from before. You were caught by surprise by a trap that nobody checked for. The two members were almost burnt to a crisp, but managed to get out, close the hatch, and recoup themselves while the rest of the party made their way in. As you slowly realize the females and the other test subjects had been moved, you managed to make your way towards the main cathedral, or the main building that seemed to house something. Upon entering, the group was greeted by the war chief, or the elected war chief, Orgrim, and Gromash in the background. The group decided to try to half talk, half fight, while Morn became more and more enraged, trying to recover his sister. He noticed she wasn't really paying the amount of attention to him that he was hoping, but with some very, very high persuasion checks, the group was actually able to persuade the war chief on their side, letting him know that females were being captured, were being experimented on, and used in some kind of ritual or torture.
Completely against his orders.
Completely against his orders, correct. The group kind of got the gist that the war chief was actually a very honorable individual, and was really only doing it out of respect, or not out of respect, but out of what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Necessity.
Yeah, like self-necessity, self-suppliance. That his people
Self-preservation.
Thank you, self-preservation. His people were basically being snuffed out and hunted. You guys seeing that as you noticed his wife and his child leave out of the back while he stayed to fight. He joins you in the fight against the evil warlock. Upon slaying him, or so you thought, the warlock was actually brought back to life and granted new powers of some sort. The group once again managed to slay the warlock and regain themselves. You cut off the head, tried to form some kind of scars, and get paid for your deeds. Unfortunately, with the rolls being really low, you were unable to pass off a good match. We left off with Morn. You are holding your sister. She passed out, or is unconscious. The group is sitting in this throne room as you guys can hear the battle outside. It doesn't sound so much more of a battle, it's more of a capturing those that are running and basically either executing or turning them into prisoners. And that's where we're going to leave off. Well, that's where we're going to start.
Yep, episode's done already.
Good episode, guys.
You
Good
guys.
night. 9 o'clock.
Thanks for
everybody.
joining. What's we call it?
Things are coming, things are leaving.
what would you guys like to do?
So we can hear that there's still like commotion outside.
Yeah. Yep, the main door has been opened by the High Warlord. And you can kind of, through the crack, you can hear the commotion outside.
Can we tell who's winning based on the noise?
Make a perception check. Sounds like a lot of noise. More human than orc, though. Or monster, you should say.
So we do definitely hear human voices.
You hear a lot more human voices. You also hear the occasional, every like 5-10 minutes, you hear that loud, like thunder almost noise. Thunder, lightning type deal.
It's like sounds like a 30-06, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
I want to stay here with Selena, but if the orcs are winning this, should probably get out.
We should probably get out either way. Because if those humans come in here, we know that captain is not keen on elven creatures. Being that there's 3 of us here, it would probably be a good idea to leave either way.
I'd really like to hang on to these.
They wouldn't dare touch her.
You would know, Freya, not just the captain, actually pretty much anybody that lived in the Empire,
Doesn't like elves.
they don't really, yeah, elves are kind of a,
No.
yeah. Usually
Wow.
those that live freely don't for very long.
Well,
why I
whatever
took her
the
in.
case. Your sister wouldn't be the only one in danger. We probably would be better off leaving.
Aye, but before we go, that warlock, whatever he was saying something about an undying entity, that he clearly was either worshipping or in league with somehow. Maybe it would be a good idea to, if we can, maybe look into that a little bit before we leave. Did the entire interior of the tent burn, or just part of it?
Just the underground. And then, Ginge, actually. Do I notice if that orb is anywhere around? Do I see that orb anywhere?
In here,
Yeah.
make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
You look around for a little while, like 20 minutes or so. You don't see an orb that fits that description.
Yeah, we should get out. I don't want to
That tent.
waste any time.
That tent.
I'm gonna-
Probably definite that we might. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be smart to do
I mean,
anything right.
if you guys want to look through it, go ahead. I'm taking my sister out.
Should we go out the back way that the leader left?
The safest. Rather than going back through the front, especially since we hear people out there.
Yeah, I think
No.
so. He thought it was safer.
Yeah.
I might make my way over to the tent then.
I mean, we can maybe go back to the tent later, right?
That underground thing was hidden.
Aye, but I think it's best if we do so while we're here. Then we can leave this place for good.
Would it be smarter to have Cass
Maybe
and Galen go?
Maybe let the humans go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because Henri, I'd just be worried, if you get stopped, obviously, humans aren't going to hurt us, but they might hurt us because of what we are.
Not if I don't look like
Better.
me.
But why risk
But
it?
Oh, I haven't used disguise self either yet. Good point. So you're saying, like, disguise yourself?
Aye. Wouldn't be too hard. I know what they look like.
Humans?
Aye. I live with one.
Well, I don't want you to go alone. So if you're set on going now, I could go with you, I guess.
I'll go with you.
Either one or both. Doesn't matter to me.
I do think it's important that we find that orb if it's still down there.
I don't like the sound of whatever that thing is.
Oh, I
was
forgot.
talking
Actually,
about.
Ginge, I was the only one that saw that, right? With the exception of Morn was down there with me the second time and saw the orb, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Morn didn't even see the orb.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the orb. I'm just referencing what I heard him say while he was still alive.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna start moving with my sister.
Okay. You're moving.
What?
Out the same door that the mother and child went out.
Okay. Make a perception check. Okay. Just barely. You are able to, when you walk to the back of this building, it is just it's a straight stone wall. And you're unable to really make out any exits, doors, and for a second, you're kind of like taken back, and you're if you wouldn't have watched basically three people walk through this door, you wouldn't know that there's something back here. It takes you a solid like 5 or 10 minutes of just literally hitting your hand and checking around, and then after, like right at the end of that 10 minutes when you're about ready to give up, you just for a split second, either a gust of wind or something comes through just enough where you kind of feel just a faint breeze along your cheek, and you manage to trace the outline of a hidden door. And you're able to just slightly find a recessed brick that you push in, and it just wedges open just a tish.
Yeah, I'll open it.
Okay. It opens right up, and before you there's just a tunnel. A large, looks like 6-foot tunnel, 6 foot up and about 4 or 5 feet wide.
I'm assuming it's dark.
Yes.
There's a tunnel over here. Might be a way out. But I can't see.
Who can see in the dark?
I think it's just me, Henri, and Kaz. Unless somebody wants to light a torch or something. But I'm gonna go to the tent first, just to very quickly see if I can find anything. But first I want to disguise self.
I will do the same.
And I'm gonna actually, just because we've ran into them before, I'm not gonna alter my appearance that much. I'm really gonna kind of keep my same appearance, but hide my ears and maybe make features look a little less elven.
Okay.
Since they've met us before, I'm hoping that they're just looking, if we run into people that have already seen us, they will recognize that we've been at the camp before.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make my hair less white and more gray, and change my skin to be more pale and less pink. And tattoos under my eyes are gone. Still like me, but different, less elf. And with some crow's feet in my eyes to give myself a little bit of an aged look, but not too much. Other than that, clothing's still pretty much the same. I guess my cloak would be that sort of rustic brown that I made it before, just to make it look like a simple traveling cloak.
Okay.
Alright, and then I'm going to go to the front door and I'm going to very slowly and carefully peek outside.
Okay. Are you just doing a quick glance, or are you looking to look?
I'm peeking my head out and looking to make sure that there is not any orcs or anything that might be dangerous right outside.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Spell attack. Okay, Cass, who are you killing? Okay, so you poke your head out the front door, and the first thing you notice is the camp is full of humans. What orc, ogre, goblin, anything like that is literally fighting for their lives, or they have already been shoved to the ground and are being chained. As you poke out, you watch, a couple of them being shoved to the ground, chains being put around their hands and their legs and their masks. They're like being chained like a big, almost like a clasp iron mask. You watch as a goblin runs up and tries to stab one of the soldiers, as two kick it down, and you watch as they just repeatedly stab. What's left of this city is slowly being obliterated.
Okay. So it doesn't appear that there's any stray orcs standing outside that I might have to fight or anything like that. They're all kind of being dealt with.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So I'm going to look back at Henri, and then Kaz, did you say you were going as well?
Yeah.
And anybody else, or was it just us?
I mean, my sister would get killed if I walked out there.
No, I know you were, but I wasn't sure if Kaylin and I know Ping's not here, but if Ping were going also down that tunnel to get.
I mean, if they come in here, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do either.
Then we're in the tunnel? In the tunnel?
Maybe they won't find me, but I can't see in there.
Do you not have a torch?
Not while I'm carrying her.
Yeah, that is an issue, I suppose.
Well, what
I'll
were
I'll walk up and I'll finger flick his great axe and I'll cast light on it.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you on the other side then.
Be careful.
I will. You too.
All right. So I'm also going to
stay with Morn now, as Ping kind of takes a little bit of a trot and starts making his way towards the doorway as well. I'll watch you back.
I'll nod.
All right, and I'm also going to relay that it appears that the humans are winning and the orcs are being taken prisoner right now. So this might be a good opportunity. Subjugated.
Aye, best we move with the quickness.
All right,
Yep.
so I will walk outside
We are on a timer.
and start heading towards the warlock tent.
I'll silently follow the group that's going with the warlock as well.
Okay.
Going to the tent, you mean?
Yeah.
So I.
Because the warlock's dead.
Mhm.
Good fucking bits.
So you think?
Guy was a dick. Well, as far as we know.
We
I
did take his
suppose.
head off.
There's worse ways to be brought back undead.
Oh, we didn't cut his. Morn would have fucked up that guy's head.
Yeah, we definitely cut his head off.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I
Remember,
thought
I think
so.
last session was like that awful hack job I was doing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think you took your axe and took a good swing. I can't actually remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that happened.
He was literally just like, here, let me do it. Slice, done.
Yeah, and then I had an awful dexterity check or something with getting the scars. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so heading to the warlock tent.
Okay.
Trying to avoid getting too close or getting wrapped up with any craziness.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys make your way through the camp, the soldiers every once in a while kind of stare at you, almost like well, you're human, but you're not in military uniform, so what the hell are you doing here?
That's fine, just gonna ignore them until we get questioned or something, if that happens. That's fine,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep walking.
just walk like you belong.
Yep. I mean, if we get asked, we were in the camp. The captain knows what we're doing. So, yeah, still walking.
Okay. Takes you like the better part of like 10 minutes just to get across, 10 or 15 minutes, because it's just so crammed with human and orc fighting and driving and people being slain and subjugated. You see lines of orcs, ogres, and goblins just being chained together. When you get to about here, you notice across from you about 3 humans heavily cloaked. Heavily cloaked. Like you can't see anything. It's almost like a monk thing where they have like the hands inside of the robes and they're standing kind of like this. And their backs are to you guys right now, and they are staring at the portal.
And is the portal
is it lit up?
If you look, make a perception check.
I think last time you said it was like 75%.
Yeah.
It's a really, really big portal, Kaz.
Possibly magic.
Possibly.
What you're able to make out is everything except for the last symbol is lit up. The last rune on the far right side bottom is the last one not lit up. The portal seems to be almost like crackling, and like the center of it doesn't look completely done, but with a high perception roll like that, this is what you see, and just you. Every 5 to 10 seconds, like a glimmer of somewhere else flashes through. You see a barren, almost a barren land. You see woods and trees that at one point may have been alive, but they are just dead and coiled and crinkled inside of themselves. You see a giant castle, almost a cathedral style, and it's just dark. And you just every like 15 or 20 seconds, if you look really, really, really closely, you swear that you see something, like you see like groups of something moving in the backgrounds, and then the image like fades away, and then it's almost like, and then it almost looks like somebody has taken like a stick and stuck it into water and swirled it around a bunch.
Forgot about music. Sorry.
Would I have any frame of reference to have any idea what kind of place this is that I see on the other side of the portal?
Unfortunately, not really, no. Because it's somewhere you haven't been nor do you know about.
Okay.
And you're not really sure where or what it is.
Well,
So as you guys are standing there, kind of glancing at the portal, and you guys are making your way towards the warlock's tent, one of the cloaked figures stops for a second, as he looks like he's conversing with the other two, and he slowly turns himself and stares directly at your group. You don't see anything, nothing from here to like this whole area, but you see an elongated, black-looking beard that comes out to a point.
Just gonna turn away and keep walking to the tent.
Yep, keeping it moving.
Make another perception check, Andre and Kaz, because you are the two that tried to stare at the portal. Yeah. So what you notice is just briefly, like a snap of the finger, the cloak opens just slightly about right here, and you see an emblem that looks like this.
Oh, fuck.
And the cloaked figure turns around and stares again at the portal. As the three characters start to like converge towards each other, and you can see them like leaning in like they're talking.
Do I know that symbol?
We've explained it multiple times. Or we've talked about it many times.
Since she joined the party?
Yeah. Well, and even with the book and everything, with the symbol on the book, and then
Right.
Yeah.
talking about seeing it with the orb being held, she's been present for all of that.
You would have a light understanding of what it might be. And the only reason you were able to see that is because of that roll.
GG, Henri.
Lucky me.
Yeah, I definitely just, especially because they turned around and looked, I would have just kind of turned, worried that they may be suspecting something, and just continued walking to the... walking to the tent.
Okay. So you guys make it. You guys make it to the front of the tent, and there's people all around. There's people going into each one of these tents, and like scrounging and grabbing things and whatnot. And then about probably 50 to 75 feet to your right are those three figures standing in front of the portal.
I'm gonna go inside the tent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody inside?
There is one.
Oh, I didn't like that smirk.
There's one soldier in the far corner, and he looks like he's just like going through things, like opening up a chest and tearing things and throwing things out.
I'm gonna go to a desk or a bookshelf somewhere and also look like I'm ransacking and looking for stuff.
Okay, make a perception check.
I'll help.
More doing it for show.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
Because
Why?
I got 22 HP. I need some healing. Don't judge me. Fuck you.
Kaylin's ass over here going, I need healing. I need healing.
Healer!
You're able to spot. It's not so much like a desk. It's more of Well, yeah, it'd be like a desk, but there's no like drawers or anything to it. It's literally just like a podium where he writes, and there's like 3 books on top of it and some notes scrawled out to the right.
I'm gonna like kind of toss stuff around a little bit, make it look like I'm just kind of, like ransacking the place.
Okay.
But as I'm doing that, do I notice? Because I'm also looking at what I'm moving. Do I notice anything of value
Or of interest.
or of interest? Yeah. Is it
Okay,
just
so a little more condensed. What exactly are you looking for? You know what I mean?
so? Like he's got
like-
stuff written on there, like books and whatnot. I'm like reading as I'm throwing stuff around. I'm like looking at it and reading. Like, did he write anything down of note or of interest?
Do you speak Orc or Abyssal?
No.
'Kay.
Fuck.
3 things catch your eye that might be. There's one book that looks older than the rest. And you open it up and it actually has handwritten notes in there from what you can tell. The other one is a scroll that's shoved in kind of next to that book, and it's been wound with leathers. And then when you're tossing things around, you do notice in the far corner of the desk, in the back right hand side, against the wall, like where the shelf meets the wall, where he built like this shelf almost in the corner of this hut. Shoved in around the side, you catch a glimpse of something. And when you reach your hands in there and you're kind of paying attention, you reach your hands in there and kind of flick it out. It's a medallion that is the shape of a dragon's head with a maw open and a hand reaching in.
Alright, I'm gonna take that book, the scroll, and that medallion and put them in my pack.
Okay.
Is that soldier still in here?
Yeah.
Fucker. I'm just gonna move around to another part of the room and start looking for more items.
Okay. As you're doing that, you don't hear it per se. More of like you get goosebumps and you feel it. And you kind of like glance out of the corner of your eye, and the 3 hooded figures walk through the door and begin scanning the room.
Glad I didn't open the trap door.
And you hear from one of the hooded figures, the one with the black beard that comes to a point. "What are you doing in here?" To the soldier in the far right hand corner of the room. Nothing, sir. I was just looking for valuables to return to the High Captain. Please leave now. This is not a location for your peoples. And you, group as well, I would appreciate it if you did not loot this tent. This is not for the common soldier. So please, leave. And he kind of like, one hand comes out of the right hand, comes out from underneath the cuff, and he points towards the door, and he keeps the other one underneath his cuff, like against his like middle of his chest, kind of in front of him, as he points you towards the door.
Oh, we're not soldiers, and we came here under the permission of the High Captain.
Yes, but my permissions succeed the High Captain. So, if you could leave now, I would appreciate it.
But we're not finished in here.
He takes a step forward, closer to you. Ah, yes. But by the Council of Six, this sector, this section, has been deemed important to look into. Do leave now, before we have issues.
I think we found something, valuable enough. Maybe we can leave.
Oh,
You're really gonna say that out loud? God damn it.
what of value did you find?
Oh,
If you could please show me.
some
Motherfucker.
gold.
Make a persuasion check.
God damn it. I knew that was a bad idea.
Come on, Andre, you can do it.
And he kind of like grins, and you watch the right hand come out again and like lays it down in front of you. Please, I would like to see whatever this may be before we might have an issue. And the two cloaked figures, the other two, kind of slide into your sides in like a flanking position.
I believe she said that we found gold. I didn't know that the Council of Six was interested in gold.
Unfortunately, I do not believe gold was all that you found. Please, hand over the items.
Who is he holding his hand out to?
You. And he steps like another
Why is he
step
holding his
closer
hand
to
out
you.
to me? I'm not the one that said that we found stuff of value.
To Henri, and he takes like another step closer to you. Like to the group.
What she meant when she said we found something of value is that we found a hidden room in this tent.
Yes.
It's not a tangible item that we've picked up.
I see.
That's exactly what I meant. Yes.
Where exactly is this room?
You're standing on it.
If we show you, can we look at it with you when you go investigate?
No. Until we have deemed it appropriate for the public to look into. This is not a place that you should be.
Well, we're not the public. We're just a couple curious minds.
You are,
Who are we gonna tell?
you
We're
are,
all the way up here on the north, on the other side of the Evercrest Mountains. Who are we gonna tell? We've come all this way. We just want to see what's down there.
This is empire business. This is not public business. Please stay here. And he like pulls the rug back and begins to like pad around the ground and finds the trapdoor that you guys had seen before. Lifts it up, looks down, and makes his way down as the other two stand right next to the opening to the door.
Well, since it appears that you are be taking or looking through that and we aren't anymore, we might as well take our leave.
The two figures that are still standing up next to the door release their right hands and kind of point you towards the door in a leave manner.
I'm gonna look at Kaz, Kaylin, and Henri. Like wide-eyed, like, let's go.
Yeah,
And then start walking towards the...
I'll make my way towards the exit.
Aye,
And then,
we'll just find a quarry somewhere else.
as I'm walking towards the door, can I ask the two standing there and just say, "Hey, I saw y'all looking at the stone structure out there. Never seen anything like that. Is that what do you guys think of that?"
Neither one of them speak. They just turn with cloaked face and you can't see anything. And just kind of like stare in your general direction. Nothing more.
You've never seen anything like it either, huh?
Fucking love Kaz, I swear.
All right. Well, I hope you guys figure it out. I'm sure you will. I know that the 6 is only made up of the most capable of people, so good luck, guys. Hope it works out for you.
That was a backhanded comment.
The digs are real.
And then I'll just walk out of the tent.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
After we walk outside the tent, I'm gonna kind of like angrily glare at the ground.
Okay.
I didn't get the time to say anything about it before, but those guys have the same symbol around their necks as is on that book that you guys have been looking at. You know, the creepy one.
Yeah.
And you guys are just standing in front of the tent right now, right?
We walked out
We're
Yeah,
walking back to
I was
the...
saying this a distance away.
as we're walking away from the tent.
Yeah.
About 30 seconds after that, as you guys are walking away, you guys kind of glance back, and the one masked figure with the pointed black beard walks out of the tent, and he begins looking around.
Let's
Yeah.
not run, but walk quickly.
Blend Assassin's Creed blend in with the crowd style.
I'm just gonna quietly say to the group, we'll talk when we're in a safer place. There's nothing more that we can do right here, or do here right now. And I'm gonna walk back towards the main building where that secret exit was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys are just walking normally back to the main building.
Walking maybe a slightly quickened pace, but not in a suspicious kind of way. Just not super slow. Not like we're lazing about, like just strolling, but
Yeah.
kind of just walking with a purpose.
Okay.
Move with a sense of purpose, and no one will have the chance to question you.
Okay. As you guys are walking through the crowd, you notice that one of the black hooded individuals is not walking in your general direction, like directly at you, but kind of in your general direction.
Fuck.
Maybe we double back around, diverge off the path, and go out the stream.
That's the
But-
opposite
but-
direction that we're going right
But
now.
then,
gonna say,
how
you
are we
guys
going to
would
meet
be-
more?
You guys would be like here-ish. The black hooded individual is like here-ish.
Yeah,
So if
we'd
you
be
double
walking
back up, yeah.
past him. Yeah, we don't want to walk in his direction.
Oh, I thought they were closer. Never mind.
No, they're still a far distance away.
But we would literally be walking towards him if we wanted to walk towards the stream. So
Okay, yeah. No,
Um,
fuck off. Let's just
yeah,
keep
just gonna
going.
keep walking towards the building. Periodically kind of doing the side glance to make sure he's not necessarily following, or see if he's getting closer.
You're looking to see if he's getting closer.
No, I don't want to like look, but as I'm like
You're kind of doing like
like
a
doing the glance, like oh, like I'm turning to talk, like I'm gonna turn and look at Henri and be like, oh yeah, so I hope that they find those prisoners. As I'm doing that, I'm gonna kind of turn my head a little bit more so I can see at the side of my eye, but I'm talking to Henri.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hopefully they find all of them and they don't leave any behind. Do I notice if he's closer?
not
Or if he's walking in our
necessarily
direction?
closer. He's keeping
Definitely.
pace with you, but keeping a large, like a distance, but keeping pace with you
But definitely walking in our direction still.
in the same general, yeah.
Keep going.
Just keep gonna keep going.
Just keep
Okay.
walking.
Just keep
After
walking.
a couple minutes, you're able to make your way to the front door of the main building here. That main, like the one that you guys just left.
Let's go in.
Yep, going inside. And then
Do we
after...
see anyone?
Yeah, is there anybody inside?
Nope.
Let's close the door behind us and see if we can block it.
Run. Yeah, once
Yeah.
we get inside.
Is there
Try to-
anything immediately there that we can put in front of the door just to
I mean,
slow someone down a
there's
bit?
like 2 or 3 braziers right next to you that are just like slow ember burning right now.
Can I stick them through the? I'm assuming they're like double doors, like with handles. Can I just stick one through both the handles?
No, but you could prop it up against the bottom of the door,
Like putting a chair against the doorknob?
kind of type deal. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
The braziers are heavy. Like it's gonna take probably 2 or 3 of you guys to move them.
Definitely will help.
What's
Yeah.
the floor made out of?
Stone,
Stone?
like stone / like cobblestone type deal.
It's a skating ring, highly waxed.
Exactly.
I'm going to cast Stone Shape, and I'm going to form a 5-foot-high wall right in front of the middle of the doors.
Awesome.
Nice.
Freaking right, Kaylin.
One of the hardest braces you can make.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
And then after that has formed, I'm gonna promptly run like fast as fucking possible to the back of the room to try and find that secret opening.
Yeah.
Back of the room is stone wall.
I mean, Moore didn't tell us where it was.
No. But we saw him walking through it. Is it closed?
Stone wall.
Fuck. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Guys, help me find the way out so that we can get out of here and close this.
I love this music right now. This is fitting the everything perfectly.
Have you seen this
Yes.
movie?
No.
Oh, this movie's soundtrack is crazy. Anyway, yeah. So everybody's helping.
Yeah, I'm
for
looking
the-
around.
That'll do it right there. As you guys all begin to look, Kalen walks up to the wall and just general area where he remembers Morn going, and within like 30 seconds, a small doorway just opens up.
Found it. Let's go.
Found
You
it.
you are on a roll
book it.
today.
Okay,
Yeah,
As
let's get
this
a
is
bug
happening-
eyes in here.
as this is happening, with a high perception roll like that, Kalen, I'm going to give you this one too. As you are ushering people into this doorway, you turn around and almost like Star Wars Clone Wars, like the freaking lightsaber going through the door making a circle, you see this ember like heated metal almost look, a circular area being almost like heated to extreme heats where you did your stone shape.
Like around the wall that I made.
Yeah.
Okay. They'll still have to push it because it's also 5 feet thick because it
Oh.
goes in every single dimension.
Oh, correct. I'm just saying, you just see this almost like a perfect circle, like 5 feet, like all around, like 5 feet in diameter, being like heated, like an extreme heat. All of a sudden, it's just like building up around this, like the stone wall that you put up.
Oh yeah, fair. That'll still be a heavy fucker to push though. Looks like they're coming for us. We don't have a lot of time. Let's go.
So he found the
Book it.
opening.
We'll go in the tunnel and then we'll make sure we close it behind us.
Yeah, Kalen's like ushering you guys into the doorway,
Yeah. No,
into the tunnel. He's like shoving you
I'm-
guys into the tunnel.
I'm way ahead of you. I don't want to be.
And then you know what? Once we get behind, I'm gonna use the second use of stone shape to reinforce the hidden door.
Okay.
Oh, like to weld it shut?
Yeah, just add another block right in front of it
Right.
From the inside or
Hell yeah.
outside.
from the inside.
Okay.
Once we're all
Yeah, so
inside.
it's still so it's still hidden, but if they
Mhm.
do find it, they can't get through.
Yeah, so even if they open the hallway, they're just gonna be greeted by more stone.
So it is pitch black, this hallway. So those of you that have dark vision,
I will light a
it's,
torch.
it's half of that. Oh,
I will
there's my
light a
fucking
torch.
Pen. Okay. Found the head of my pen.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for another usage of light.
Okay.
I'll go ahead in the darkness.
Yeah,
As the
it's gonna-
doorway closes behind you, you can almost, it's almost like liquid. You watch it close, and where you would think that there'd be like a giant gape around the door where you could obviously see the door, it almost like self-seals itself.
It's like flush as shit with the wall.
Correct. It's
Yeah.
very, very, very hard to make out. And then you watch as Kalen stone shapes again, and you watch this slab of thick stone pop up in front of the doorway as it closes behind you. And it is pitch black until Kalen snaps or whatever with his fingers, and a burst of light comes out along with your torch on.
All right, and as soon as he's done with that, I'm gonna take off running down that hall
Booking it.
because
Yeah,
we're
let's go.
definitely being pursued by people we probably don't want to deal with right now.
Okay. 5 minutes later, it's a straight run. Pitch black, straight run. About 5 minutes later, you guys make your way to the other end of this tunnel, which pops you guys out. Just on the back side of Mugthal, you guys actually come out literally right next to the ocean.
Oh wow, we were that close. Did we see Morn there? Where is Morn?
Morn is just sitting next to the water, having a conversation with his sister. And we will cut back now, about 30 minutes. Morn, you and Ping and your sister make it to this beach line. And you kind of set her down next to you. And it's a very... Think like the
We're outside, right? We made it
Yes.
to the end.
Yep. Think like Black Sea. It's a very, very dark water, and the sand is not fine white sand. It's fine black sand. The entire beach is fine.
I already had it
black
queued.
sand.
Okay.
So, you lay her down next to you, and you sit. And you stare out into the ocean, and it is vast. It's so far across, like this makes it look like it's close, but you can't even see the other side. The clouds roll off of the Devil's Fingers mountain, the Evercrest Mountains, to your west, and it rolls down into the ocean and actually rolls out into the ocean. So you can see for maybe a mile or two, and it's just a vast open ocean in front of you.
It's like Lake Michigan. You know there's something on the other side, but you can't.
Exactly,
see anything.
like Lake Michigan,
Yeah.
Lake Superior. Like you
Yep.
know
Yeah.
that there's land literally on the other side. You know it's a landlocked ocean or landlocked lake or something, but you can't see anything, and the humidity is so hot that the clouds and everything roll in low and just like hang on the top of this ocean as the waves are just cresting. And every so often you feel like you see something disturb the water, something big disturbs the water, and then almost goes back below.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just sitting here with Ping.
Ping not takes off, but he kind of solemnly looks down and then walks about 300 to 400 feet away from you. You can see him on the coastline, but he's far away. And you watch him put his staff down in front of him. He sits down on the ground. He folds his legs. And he places his hands. He folds his legs. And he places his hands out in front of him like so. And you watch him put his head back. And he just sits there. And you can make it out every so often, but he almost looks like he's taking in deep breaths and exhaling.
Okay, and I'll I'll just sit down where I'm at, probably 10 feet from my sister, watching over her, making sure she's still breathing.
Yep. About another 10 or 15 minutes, or 10 minutes goes by. And the sound of the ocean just is calming, and you kind of close your eyes and you take it in, as you can hear the and you can hear it wash up on the sand and pull back out into the ocean. You watch it hit again as you close your eyes. You just kind of really, you've never heard this before. You lived up in the mountains, and you've been able to hear the ocean in the far distance, but you've never come close enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so you sit and you just take it in. And after about 10 minutes, you open your eyes up and you look out towards the ocean. And you feel a soft, gentle hand reach over and set down on top of your big, meaty hand. And you look over, and your sister's sitting next to you, looking out into the ocean as well. Just sitting there.
Selena?
Yes, Morn?
Okay, I'm just gonna start crying.
She kind of grabs, for a very small figured female, she grabs this giant 7 foot, 8 foot, 400-pound man and just pulls this big burly man in and just holds you in this giant embrace and just hugs, and it's tight. And it's the tightest you've been hugged in a while, even for somebody as small. And it's comforting, and it's nice. And it feels like home.
Can't. Yeah, I don't have much to say. I'll just sit there.
Okay. You guys sit there for 10 more minutes or so. And she begins to cry as well. And kind of sits there and sniffles along with you. It's so good to see you. I didn't think I'd ever make it home.
And my little sister. I'll always watch over you.
I know. And she lets go of your head, and she grabs your hand, scoots a little closer, and just sits there next to you as you guys both stare out into the ocean. But another 10 or 15 minutes goes by, and you hear about 50 feet behind you, you just hear like somebody sprinting out onto like small pebble, like small sand, you know, like when people are running in the sand.
I'll jump.
You hear several people just come running.
I'll turn around and jump up and grab Selena's hand.
Okay. You guys both stand up as you watch your group basically come in a dead sprint out of the small tunnel that you came out of. And what it looks like is Lord of the Rings, you know, like the little hobbit homes, the little hobbit holes. It's basically like that. Like, it looks like a part of the mountain, like a part of a hill. And there's just a tiny little door, and all of a sudden you guys just come running out of this tiny little door that's covered in vines and moss and, like, branches and vines. And you guys just kind of make your way on the other side of it. As you guys run through, it kind of like moves off to the side as you guys make through. And as you guys all run through and you turn back, it all kind of like naturally covers itself again. Almost like magic is making the plants grow in a certain way to cover this doorway.
Okay, yeah, so as soon as I see it's them, I'll kind of turn back and... It's okay. It's okay, Selena. I found you because of them. They're my friends.
That's good. I like new friends.
And then I'll walk her toward the group and be like...
Okay. She stands up. And she's like... I'd say she's probably like... waist. Maybe a little bit higher. Probably like right, like nipple line for Morn.
So how does that compare to the rest of us?
Well, how tall
I thought Morn was like 6'8".
I thought he was like 6'8", 7 foot.
Yeah, I'm 6'8". She's probably... Oh, did I give a height when I messaged you?
I'm not sure. I want to say you said she's like 14 or 15, so I would say she's probably...
Yeah, she's 16.
Yeah.
She's probably close to full grown.
Yeah,
Um,
so I'd say she's probably 5'8", 5'9",
that sounds about right. Yeah.
like roughly. So she's
So-
like right here-ish.
So she's actually a little taller than me.
Just a tish. Just a tish. And she's very slender. Like if you look at her, her elven features are very pronounced. If you had to take a guess, you would think she's full-blooded. But you're not sure.
This is my sister. And I'll wipe like tears from my eyes.
She just stands next to Morn and just smiles, and she's just like, she's got like her hand kind of like up, like holding this big freaking meat, or like she's got it down, just like kind of hunched a little bit, like holding this big meat claw that's Morn, just holding this tiny little hand.
It's nice to finally meet you.
You too.
The resemblance is uncanny.
Yes. Well, we may want to clear out of here.
Yeah, we don't have much time for pleasantries.
Yeah, so, Morn, update. There were agents of the Six in the city with the army, and also of note, I don't know if I mentioned this before to the others. They were wearing the emblem that is on that book that you guys have been trying to figure out for a while. So
Point of clarification.
is it
Only the
same?
one guy
okay.
you saw was wearing it.
At least one of them is wearing that symbol. But I would venture to guess that if one of them is wearing it, then the other two may also have been. So, and it was one of them that was in hot pursuit of us. So, I'd say getting out of here probably good to do right now.
Seems like.
I would agree. They're probably not individuals that we want to mess with. And especially in our state right now. So it's probably best that we make haste and get out of here.
Are there any boats around?
Make a perception check. Cass's perception's on point.
I'm always good for a solid 8 or 9.
Having casual is like taking a 10.
You do
You just know you're not.
notice, like, boats along the shoreline, but they are very, very crude. They are the basic of the basic. Like, it almost looks like somebody cut a tree, pushed it in the water, carved out the center, and then, like, sanded it off a little bit.
Like straight up just a log canoe.
Pretty much. It
I'll turn
doesn't
towards-
look like it's made to go far out. It looks like it's basically just kind of like along the shorelines type fishing stuff.
Turn towards Selena and be like, I promise we'll be safe soon, but are you okay to run? How are you feeling?
I feel fine. A little tired, but I feel fine.
Let's do this.
2 seconds after that, a bird lands on your shoulders, Henri, and begins to talk to you. And it is the voice of your husband.
Yay!
And you hear, "Are you safe? I've been worried. I haven't heard anything for several days now. I hope everything is okay. I hope everything's okay. Be safe. I love you." And then the bird turns, cocks its head, and takes off into the air.
Oh, can I whistle it back to me?
Yeah.
Okay. I will also cast Animal Messenger. Oh, that's a second one. Whoops. Yeah. Remind myself how this works. Okay. Yeah. So I'll send it back. Getting the description of Lachlan, and I'll say, it's me. Crazy few days. Rescued some prisoners. Foiled a possible plot. Now on the run from the 6. How many is that? Is that 19?
I think it's like, yeah, it's like 18 or 20. I lost count right there towards the end. We'll
Okay.
say you're like right on that edge.
So it was 19.
It's 20. I get 25 words.
Okay.
So 19. Making. No. Heading back. Hopefully not too long.
Yep.
25.
The bird gets your message. You see kind of like a form of acknowledgement as it takes off and flies.
A sigh of relief for a moment, and then back to business, ready to go.
Okay. Just FYI, I rolled 3 times to see if that bird would make it, and it was right on the edge every time. So, what are you guys doing? As you guys are standing on this beach right now, you're kind of like right here.
We can see them. Well, yeah, we know where we are. I mean,
Roughly, yeah, you know where you are.
Then we'd want to run back towards the mountains because that's
Right.
the only route that we know that we can take back to Jupiter.
Possibly.
Well, with the exception of the fact that there's a large mass of water in front of us,
Mhm.
I would say that
Well-
we're gonna head towards the mountains. Unless Kaz, you have anything up your sleeves that can get us back?
Let's walk towards the mountains, but stay on the coast and see if we find maybe another ship. If we happen upon a ship that we feel comfortable taking across, we can do that maybe.
I like that idea. Stay on the coast, head towards the mountains.
So you guys stay along the coast. After like a 2-minute walk, you guys like walk up and Ping is kind of like sitting there meditating, and he like reaches out, grabs his staff, stands up, gives you his little shit-eating grin, and he falls in line to the group as you guys take off walking along the coastline. Takes you probably close to about an hour and a half, and you get up against the butt of the mountains.
Where's Thane when you need him?
Getting
Do I-
his ass kicked.
do I recognize any of it? Or we haven't been here before, right? This
No.
part?
Yep, you're at the bottom of these mountains, a totally different area.
We're in the Devil's Fingers now. We were underneath the mountains before.
That's what I thought. I just want to make sure I didn't recognize
Right.
anything.
Do I know of any not underground routes?
Yeah,
That
you
we
know
take,
many routes that run through the Evercrest Mountains and across the Devil's Finger. Yeah, you know a lot of them. 90% of them not so safe, but you know a lot of them.
Is there one that's relatively safe that is nearby?
Yeah, it would be basically crawling / walking along the bottom of the Devil's Finger, probably a couple 100 feet above the ocean coast. There's like an old dwarven trail that literally runs the side of the mountain.
Ah,
Like it's you guys ever watch The Witcher?
Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah.
say
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
That's what I thought of.
episode where they went
It's
to the mountain.
exactly that.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's what I was picturing too.
It literally is like it's made for lighter and smaller people, and it literally is like the side of the mountain. It's almost like a like somebody like literally put like a small bridge the entire way along the side of the mountain, and it's old. It's very old.
Any ideas, anybody?
We could take the old dwarf path, but you might not be the most safe.
Those of you that want to, roll a perception check. Oh no! My dice.
Fucking
Ouch.
perception.
Good
Okay.
lord.
Okay.
That was a bad roll for me.
Kalen's rolling hot.
I was gonna say, Kalen is on fire.
He's
I've got eyes wide shut.
Kaz is just like, this is really, really nice. I've never seen this before. Holy shit. Kalen, on the far, far, far of your of your sight, like for a human even, you kind of do like one of those squint things, and you just barely make out the form of 3 black cloaked figures along the shoreline, really, 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 really far back. And they almost look like they're stopped and looking at something.
Back down the shoreline where we originally were.
Correct.
I'll point it out to the group and I'll say, well, whatever we do, we better choose it now because we're still being pursued.
Seriously?
I'm
We
rolling
gotta
really
move quick.
well.
How many are there?
3.
But we don't know what they're capable of.
And we're in no
afraid.
condition to contest them.
No.
I really don't want to find out what is under those cloaks.
We need to move fast.
Let's go. I say we stay along the coast.
Oh, you guys are at the bottom of
We're
the
at the
Devil's Finger
mountains.
right now. So,
So, up to the
on
path
the-
then?
There's no coast that runs along the south side of that bay.
no.
It's,
Okay.
It basically hits the mountains, and then it's almost like sheer cliff, straight up. Like it almost comes down. It's like a big slide, and then like at the bottom, you can just see like jagged stalagmites like sticking up or tights, tights.
mites are on the bottom.
Thank
I
you.
always get them mixed up.
Mites like are all
Yeah.
along in the bay. Yeah, from what Andre, you would know this as the Coast of Spears.
Time to run.
The Devil's Finger is called the Devil's Fingers because people used to come here to commit suicide and they would jump off into the Coast of Spears.
Definitely seems like that would be not too hard.
Roll an intelligence check to see if you can't remember how to go up and get to this pathway to walk it.
Come on, Andre.
It takes you
Well,
probably... Oh,
have I been on this path before?
you
'Cause-
have not been on it, but you have followed closely behind somebody that has. Like, you got up... So, like, over here where it ends, you've followed a elder of the tribe that has gone to the path and watched them cross it per hunting trip or trade or whatever they were doing.
Because, let's see. As an Outlander, I have an excellent memory for maps and geography and can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around me. Does that help me at all?
I would say on this side, no. If you were on the opposite side, yes, because you have that pretty much mapped down to a T. But this side was mostly run, or it was kind of off limits to your clan because of orcs,
how dangerous it was.
ogres, yeah. Basically, you knew that side was basically held by, place like things that you don't want to go.
Shit.
So you lead them to the base of the mountain. You begin to look around for the entry point that leads up and into where this walkway starts. You have a lot of issues because what you remember is it's not just stairs that lead up to the side of this mountain and then just leads straight up into a walk path. You know that there's almost like a secret entrance to a trolley that brings you up and into this walk path.
But I can't find it.
And you're having a really, really hard time finding this entry point. I will let you make one more with advantage if somebody else can help you.
Shit. These fucking dwarves just know how to frustrate me with their
I would, but I'm rolling for shit, so.
illogical
You
creations.
better find this quick.
You can have somebody roll intelligence with you, so 2 people, or you can roll with advantage. Actually, we'll do investigation at this point because you can't
Selena.
remember. You can't remember where it is. You're more feeling around and just trying to find it.
I'll help her, and I'll also give her guidance so she can add a D4 to her roll.
Okay. Okay. You
Roll
find
D4.
it.
There you go, 12.
You find it. You find
God
it.
damn.
But it takes the better part of almost 45 minutes. And you manage to find the entry point. It's behind a bush that was behind a large stone. And the focal point to open this doorway is to the right and behind the stone. And it opens up a tiny little doorway that actually, you look in and it's an old looking like trolley or cart that just has like a pulley system that goes straight up.
While we're sitting there, while they were looking, I'm just gonna talk to Selene and be like, "We'll be fine. These guys can do some stuff I've never seen before. It's amazing." That I'm gonna. What shape are you in, Kaz?
Gandalf.
Maybe like that old guy, over there with the hat. He can look whatever he wants. He changes his shape or something like. I don't know how he does it. But he's not always like that. We actually Freya and Andre are actually elves like you.
Oh, would the disguise have worn off by now?
Yeah.
It's probably been
Oh,
an hour.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Kalen guy, he I don't know, he worships some chick, and she gives him powers.
The explanations are on point.
Explained exactly how you'd think they would be, though. That's perfect.
Yeah. So, you guys begin to make your way into the trolley. It is not powered by anything and not moving.
For fuck's sake. Doesn't even work.
I'm gonna give it a good smack.
Is there a rope we're supposed to pull?
There's a rope dangling right next to you.
Oh.
Well,
Hey, Morn, a little help?
Morn, are you up for?
I got you.
Are you up for a little lat work?
I'll do
Yeah,
my
I'll go
best.
up.
I'll do my best to help him out.
Okay.
I am fairly strong.
As you
Nope.
begin to pull your way into this circular tunnel that's made of stone that goes straight up, you look directly out, and about 600 feet off, you see the 3 black cloaked figures walking down the coastline.
Are they going faster?
Do they
look like
notice
they're-
us?
They look like they're moving quickly.
Do they notice
as,
us?
You're not sure?
as
Can I
we
tell
go
they're looking
up,
in our direction?
are we on the
Sometimes they
outside?
are.
Are we on the outside of the rocks, or are we
You are
inside?
inside of the
No.
rocks right now, sitting in
Okay.
this trolley, and you're just standing there right now.
Hold fast, Morn.
Hop in.
Okay, roll a strength check, Morn.
I'm helping him.
Okay, so you can do it with advantage.
15.
15. So it's not moving. It seems to be stuck. Like the rope and the actual like wheels for the trolley looks to be like corroded or something.
Okay, I'm gonna look back, see them running or them back there, and I'm gonna rage and try it again.
Okay.
Bruh.
Boom! The whole the trolley just shoots up 5 feet as Morn just flexes and jumps up, grabs like 10-15 feet in the air, and land with all this weight is pulling the rope down, and you guys watch the wheel that was holding this trolley just it creaks and it doesn't give at first, and then all of a sudden it just lets go and starts rolling. And you just see Morn just hand over hand pulling as the trolley just starts big big movements as it heads up.
Arms and back, boys.
So it takes the better part of
Control it.
10 minutes, and you come out, and you are far, 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 far above the ground as the trolley stops, and you hear almost like a lock as you stare out in front of you, and you're right here, and you're staring directly out over the ocean, and you are thousands of feet in the air.
So before we get out onto the platform, let's look at the cart and see if there's a way that we can lock it in the up position so that it doesn't go back down for them.
Why not just break it?
Can we
break it?
I'll just cut the rope. Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Or just take the cart, remove it from the chains.
Yeah, just remove it. Or break it or something.
Just throw the cart over the edge.
If it's up here, they can't use it.
It's built into, you can't pull it out. The stone that's formed around it, it was carved out, and this whatever it was, this trolley was built inside of this tunnel.
Then let's break the rope. Is there a rope there that I can chop?
Oh yeah.
Chain? Yeah, I'll chop it.
Okay. Whack. And you watch the trolley just and disappear.
Oh shit, I didn't get off yet.
With Kaylin, Freya. Fuck you guys.
Son of a bitch.
Bye, Selena.
I'm assuming, nobody said it, but I'm assuming you guys all took
Oh,
steps out
yeah.
of the platform.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
before it happened,
I
it's
think I
only-
checked.
I hope so. Well, I mean, you are raging, so it's only a 5x5 platform, and then directly to the left is the bridge or the platforms that lead across the mountains.
So there's the platform we're staying on right now is a bit wider than the rest of it. Is what
Barely.
you're
It's
saying.
it's 5x5.
Oh, okay.
It's just this tiny little. I mean, it's made for dwarves and gnomes.
Right.
It's just a tiny little step out platform, but for them would have been huge. And all the chains that are running around it, almost like a guardrail. Morn for you is like middle of your thigh, maybe the top of your kneecap. If you were to trip, you're going over.
Okay.
Roll a dexterity. Roll straight deck. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Well, let's go.
Yeah.
Cart's
Maintain
gone.
at least 3 points of contact at all times. Hands and feet inside the chains, please. If you are at any time to be seen with appendages outside the chains, you will be thrown off the ride. Thank you. Any
A ranger
questions?
through and through.
Let's go.
Okay, so
And I
while
will
this is
lead
all
on.
happening, I need 2 minutes. I gotta go throw my pool inside of the garage before it blows away. So, bio break.
Break time. I need water. Oh my god, I'm so thirsty.
What? It's not working at all. There.
I'm back. Ooh, hell yeah. Who put this in?
Michael.
Oh yeah. Michael knows what I like.
Alright. Yep, I'm back too.
I think we're
Just
just waiting on Michael.
I was gonna say, is this our like on break music?
Yeah.
I actually like this. What is this?
Bangers is what it is.
Called Bangers?
No. The band just all their shit is a bangers.
50 new song requests today at 10:23. Is it called Instinct?
That's the name of the album.
Yeah. Sun Squabby.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this jam. Sun Squabby Pangolin, yeah.
Is the name of the song. Yeah.
I want to see who's watching us. I don't think anybody is.
You never know.
You,
There's
you,
somebody active.
It fluctuates throughout.
you know, there was probably more views last time because it was a Friday.
Probably.
Oh
And
yeah.
there's just more people on Friday.
Well, I have 14 views. tonight.
I
So
see 3.
no, that's
watching now.
current. That's current viewers right now.
I'm 1. Alright, I have more whiskey. Let's do this.
Fuck yeah.
I got
What are you
more
drinking?
Whiskey.
But what is it?
Oh, honey whiskey. Wild turkey.
Oh, yeah. Does Wild Turkey make the American honey?
Yeah.
Is that the Wild Turkey one? Is that what it is? That's good.
So good. I'll literally, if I don't watch myself, I'll literally put down an entire bottle.
Yeah,
Entirely.
I was gonna say I've done that at my in-laws before on like a
It's
Saturday.
real dangerous, and it catches
Just-
up to you so
yeah.
fast.
That's the whiskey that I got.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's so fucking dangerous. But it's really the only whiskey I can drink on the rocks for some reason. And I like whiskeys, but I can't do bourbon on the rock. I can't do gin. I can't do any of that stuff. For some reason, it just doesn't taste very good. But American honey on the
Yeah.
rocks is like the only way I can drink it.
It feels like it's supposed to be cold.
I know.
I think it's because it has like a thickness to it
Yeah.
that it seems like.
Yeah, the wife gives me so much shit for it because I'll buy like a big ass fucking bottle of it, and
Yeah.
and over the weekend it'll like almost be gone, like 75%. And she's like, "You're a fucking alcoholic," and I'm like, "Well, it is what it is."
It's hard to stop.
Mm.
When we were in Ireland, we were at the bar, and my cousin ordered a whiskey on the rocks, and they were like, "What is on the rocks?" And he's like,
Yeah, they
he's
don't
like,
know
"Oh,
much about
that's
the rocks. Mm-mm.
that's with ice." And they're like, "Oh, you want a water?" And he's like, "No, a whiskey." You're like, "Yeah, a whiskey, and then you want like a water on the side?" He's like, "No, I want the ice in it." I was like,
They're hardcore.
"Why?"
They're over there like, what the fuck are you talking about? You never
Yeah.
put
Oh,
ice in
they're-
your whiskey.
They're
They-
hardcore over there.
they
Are
wouldn't
you
do it.
fucking crazy?
They just told him no. It was straight up like no.
Yeah,
I'm
oh
not
yeah,
gonna do
they're well. It's just like beer in Germany. They don't serve it too cold. It's lukewarm.
Yeah.
Everything in Germany, everything in Europe is all lukewarm. Everything, food, everything. Like like if you want like a breakfast, like a hot breakfast, you have to ask for an American breakfast, which was fine. I had to ask
Yeah.
for it, but I was like, like when they brought me like a lukewarm fucking pig knuckle and potatoes and shit like that, I was like, it's lukewarm. And then I was like, alright, it's kind of good. But their beer lukewarm is like our beer at its absolute coldest. It's just that good.
Man.
It's just that good.
No.
And it'll mess you up so much quicker than our like American beer. Like American beer is like watered down and shit compared to German beer. It's wild. Love you all my Germans out there, if you're watching. Alright, so you guys have taken to the dwarven path that runs the mountain. Get us back on that music.
Fun.
Even though this song is real good, and I'm probably
yeah.
going to be jamming to this after a while.
Yeah, Ray introduced me to that album. It's so good.
So
And
many
it-
good things.
I thought it was like good waiting. Like
Yeah.
the,
And
first
it
time,
was
the first time I
perfect.
heard
It
this,
was
I'm like, this
perfect.
is just like enhanced elevator music.
No,
Yeah,
like I
that
said,
was
it's
perfect.
really nice when you guys take over the music and stuff like that, because that's like one less thing I have to worry about. So it's really, really nice in that respect. You know, I got freaking Kalen making me new weapons and armor, and then I got Freya and Morn and Andre doing my music, and Kaz is doing nothing.
Getting drunk.
Kaz contributes absolutely nothing to this.
Kaz is like, I'm drinking whiskey. I'm doing
Kaz,
something.
Kaz is my drinking buddy.
Yeah.
Kaz just shows up. That's all he has to do.
Yep.
He just brings the party with him.
One
Show
of
up
these
and
days,
light some fires.
I will get my picture of Kaz, because he's. I feel like you've challenged me with your beard. I want to know what's going on there, because I want to know what I'm competing against. 'cause
No,
right now,
he showed us Cam once.
No, he didn't. I've never
Mhm.
seen it. I've never.
Yeah, he
seen
showed it.
Yeah,
He showed
I've
his
seen it.
dog,
You
and he has a pretty luscious beard.
Yeah.
Son of a,
You missed it.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
So I shaved it all off in
No, this is a while ago.
in April, but
This
yeah,
is a while ago. This was like November, maybe.
yeah.
Yo, yeah. That's when my beard was nice and good. This one, I've kept the sides really short, but I've let the chin go. So I'm the little girl actually braided it yesterday. Elena braided it, so it's kind of curly.
Good grief.
And then Kalen, the only thing I can imagine for Kalen is just this like little baby-faced boy on the other side. That's all I can imagine. Sorry.
You do that for everybody.
I don't know why,
Everybody's a baby face.
Rusty, but in my mind,
Not
You
really, because actually
look
Morn...
like a more realistic and not nearly as skinny version of Milo Thatch from Atlantis.
See, and actually, and it's really, really funny, Morn, that you play the barbarian Morn, because your voice matches up to it, and in my
Really?
mind, well, okay, not that heavy, but in my mind, you're like 6'1", 6'2", and I imagine you like as big as my little brother, like
No,
Honestly,
honestly, pick Morn, flip all of his stats, personality, everything. That's who I am.
so you're 5 foot, 120, and just like arms are like twigs.
I'm not 5 foot. I'm not that short.
You guys made us lose a viewer. I think everybody's got to take a shot for that. If you have shots.
I wish I did.
Take
Yeah.
a drink of whiskey.
Came in during a break. It's unfortunate.
Nom, 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 nom.
Mhm.
Oh,
I already
Kaz,
started up the music, so
It's so good, Kaz. So good.
yeah, I might have to pull that out.
Oh, nom, 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 nom. I'm almost done with this bottle. I just bought it like 3 days ago.
You
it's
are
real-
your wife. That's right. You are a fucking alcoholic.
I mean, my fraternity days aren't always behind me.
Just
And like for
usually.
some reason, I don't get a hangover on whiskey. If I went and had like 6 beers, I'd feel like shit tomorrow. No
That's
idea why.
me. That's why I like whiskey so much. It never gives me a hangover. And
Just
I
this
never feel
last
like
year.
crap or anything.
Just this last year, I'm like on this big whiskey kick. So,
Whiskey.
so you guys are traversing the dwarven bridges across the Devil's Fingers above the Spear Coast.
Coast of Spears.
The Coast of Spears.
What order should we be in?
I'm first, since I'm out of everyone here. I have the most familiarity.
That looks
with
really
this stat.
good, though. That's a Weiss, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
That looks good.
It's good
Looks really good.
summertime.
I got summer
Mhm.
shandy upstairs because I live in like a really, really rural community, so I don't have very many options.
You're pretty close to Wisconsin, so it's reasonable.
Fair enough.
Summer
That's water in
shandy is
Wisconsin.
good.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You go to like a liquor store and it's like, or like just a convenience store like near my cabin. It's half summer shandy, half everything else. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's a good chill drink.
So what is the marching order?
I'm first.
Henri?
I'll probably be second.
Henri, Freya, Ping,
Kaz.
Kaz,
I'll be next.
Caleb,
Selena, and then
Selena.
Lauren.
Okay. So, for the entire party, it's narrow, but it's doable. Like you're able to walk normally.
If there's
Lauren and Kalen, you guys are having a little bit of issue because you guys are a little bit bigger. Kalen, you're kind of on that edge. Like some points it's a little easier than others, but taking some of the turns around the actual corners of these mountains or these cliff sides, you kind of have to really press your body up against and try and shimmy around. Morn, you're a big man and having a lot of issues getting around some of these corners and walking along next to the mountainside. You actually, at certain points, you can hear it crack and creak below you. So,
Stay tight.
you guys continue to make your way.
Is there an actual risk of us falling?
Maybe.
Yeah, we're like.
Is
right
it worth tying ourselves up?
If you
I
want
was-
to. You're thousands of feet up.
Yeah, I think it's worth tying up.
Yeah, I have my.
It's a good idea.
landing rope. So that is certainly a feasible thing that we can do.
Though
Yeah,
I am. If I were to fall, I'd bad. So maybe I shouldn't be tied.
Well,
Absolutely not, Morn. If we're all getting tied up, you're getting tied up too.
I mean, you're not heavier than all the rest of us combined.
Exactly.
And
You're
I'm
big,
the-
but you're not that
And
big.
I'm the most likely to fall. To be honest,
Which
True.
is why it's more important for you to be tied up than anybody else.
probably.
Yeah, but the likelihood is that we're not going to be running into anything that whispers in our minds and tries to get us to jump off the ledge out here. At least I hope not.
We hope
Jeez, I
not.
hope not.
Aye. Maybe I should.
What, you guys didn't like my tunnel?
Well, okay. Ray did. Andre didn't.
I have to
So-
agree with that. I will help Unray
Get the
in
belay line
tying,
setting up.
tying everybody off.
Okay. So you guys are all tied off. You guys are continuing to walk. You guys walk. And you walk. And it's narrow. But it's not unbearable. Like, if you looked over and down, though, it is like a complete like drop off. Like you can barely see the bottom, and then thousands of feet below you see where the waves crash into the sides of the Devil's Finger.
It's a long way down.
Aye.
We should just
I'm
not
gonna-
look. Just keep going.
I'm gonna gulp. I do like a hard swallow. I just hug as close to the wall as I can.
I'm right there with you, honestly.
Everybody roll a d20.
Don't much like the water. Just a straight D20?
Just a
Oh,
straight d20. Just
gotcha.
Bitch, please.
Oh shit!
Oh no! That's not good. You can't even know. See, this is why we
Yeah,
tell everybody.
those are some polar rolls right there.
and then I'll roll one for ping, just cause. Natural one.
Does Selena need to roll?
Oh, are
Sure.
you shitting me? You got a nat one.
Sure, roll for
I
Selena.
was just gonna
Just
say
roll a d20.
it's not a terrible average.
Wow.
We got
you
another one.
Two nat
Okay.
20s and
I
two
mean,
nat
she's an
ones.
elf, so
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's actually a decent average.
Yeah.
so as you guys are walking, Henri, you step over a couple of boards that look a little sketchy. You pass it along the group, and it plays almost like the phone game. Step over. Bad. Next person. Step over. Something. Step over. Step. And Kaz. All the heavily weighted armor. You take a step down on one of the planks that's holding up against
Kaz?
the building.
With
Or
heavily
sorry,
weighted armor?
Kalen.
Oh, Ping would go first.
Yep. Ping's light, though. Ping steps on it, but it just bends a little bit.
Okay.
He continues to walk, and the rest of the party walks over. But Kalen, being weighed with all the armor, you take a step onto this plank, and the plank gives way below you as you watch as Kalen starts just plummets through up to his about his waist, and he just is like falls through waist deep and starts and continues to fall further.
I'll brace for it.
I'm gonna immediately
Shit.
drop and brace.
As the
Yeah.
party, as Kalen drops through the center, the entire party gets pulled in from each side, as you guys are just laying on the ground and basically putting your feet against all the brace work to try and steady yourself as Kalen goes through.
Kaylin, why do you have to be so heavy?
And
What heavy armor does to you?
a second later, Ping puts his foot on one of the braces and tries to brace himself as well, as his foot goes through and he starts to slide through as well.
Wait, so the marching order was Henri, me, Ping, and then Kaylin?
Yep.
So there was no person.
Oh no, Kaz is before Kalen. I think
Yeah,
Kaz
so
is between.
Kaz is standing in between Ping and Kalen as both of them have gone through,
Oh,
and you're standing on 2 or 3 braces that have not broken, and then on each side of Kaz there's about 2 or 3 braces that have broken, and Kalen and Ping are starting to go through on both sides.
I'm just gonna dig into whatever I can and hold on with all of my might.
So
Yeah, as am I.
Henri, Freya make strength checks, just straight strength. Morn, you make 2 rolls as well, one for
Holy
you and
fuck,
one
are
for
you
your
kidding
sister.
me?
And Kaz, make a strength oh baby. Make a strength check with disadvantage, because you are both sides. You are oh fuck, as you're grabbing both ropes on both sides of you, as you're literally being pulled to your knees.
Ah,
Oh baby. Okay, Morn. Roll your 2. One for you.
Thank goodness.
Come on, Morton.
Henri and Freya, all of a sudden, the boards below your feet slip out from under the heel of your boots, and you begin to slide. It's almost like you're hitting railroad ties, and you're bumping over them and getting pulled, and you can't get your feet to register, and you are just sliding towards the open gap as Ping goes below the bridge and disappears. And now both of you guys are sliding towards the edge of the hole. Kaz, you are down on your knees and you are being pulled towards your left side where Ping just went through. Kaylin, you are chest deep right now, and you are you're kind of holding yourself and falling as well. And the weight is kind of weird because it's pulling you up and over towards Kaz and over the side, but at the same time you're kind of holding yourself dangling in midair as you watch as Selena tries to rip.
That was my roll. I haven't rolled Selena's yet.
Oh, I was gonna take the 14
Oh,
for
okay.
that, but yeah.
Sure, that works.
But she gets her feet and she gets a little bit of a grasp, but she is having a rough time. Something deep inside Morn freaks out. I will not lose my sister. I will not lose my party. And you watch as Morn almost punches the mountain next to him and sticks his finger in crevices, almost like how climbers put those little hooks in there. And you watch him grab that, and he takes the rope and wraps it around his arm and braces himself and sits down and sticks his foot into the mountain, his hand into the mountain, and just holds. So you guys aren't falling anymore, except for Henri and Freya. You guys are sliding towards the hole.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
But Morin is he is braced the opposite end. So Kaylin, you are no longer falling. You're just staying there right now.
I'm gonna yell for Selena, grab Kaylin.
Okay, so she reaches out and is like grabbing the back of your armor, like she's laid down on her stomach and she's grabbed the back of your armor and she's trying to give you something to like pull yourself up. She's like bracing you and keeping you from sliding even further. Kaz, you're being pulled towards the ping side. As
So
ping
can I
ping
attempt to
is
pull
complete. Yes. So you're gonna try and pull yourself up. Ping is literally dangling in the air right now. And Freya and Andre, you guys are gonna make another one here in a second. So Caleb, see if you can pull yourself up.
Yeah, and I'll give myself strength of the bull for this shit. 'Cause Lord, I need it.
Just freaking out like, oh, come on.
18. There we go.
That's really good that you
God
rolled that
damn,
18.
give me strength!
as you smell
Maximum effort.
as you smell like the like almost like a breeze blows by your face and your nose, and you feel this warm, like it's cold up where you guys are right now, and you feel this warm breeze, and you smell wheat and you smell barley, and you just feel this surge of energy as you grab the two bracing that you know are good right in front of you that Kaz was just standing on, and you begin to pull yourself up. You're about waist at this point where you've pulled yourself up, and you're kind of, the whole top half of your body is laying on the bracing in front of you.
Okay.
So,
GG.
Henri, Freya, roll strength checks again. Or actually, no, hold on. Because you guys are sliding. So roll athletics at disadvantage.
Fuck.
Because you guys are trying to find nice.
Hey.
Oh,
No, use the disadvantage.
Are you fucking serious?
Disadvantage. Fucking disadvantage. That was a.
Because you guys are trying to find something to register to. You guys are sliding, both of you guys at this point. Oh man.
Oh, this is
So-
fucking me so hard.
You guys are like sliding. Freya, you manage to like find, like, right before you go up over the edge, and you're like you manage to like stick a foot into the mountain and like kind of grab the chain next to you that's like along the side, and you start to slow down, and you feel like you're slow enough, but the momentum of Henri behind you bumps you just enough and sends you up over the edge as you begin to fall through the opening in the stairway, and it pulls Henri over, like, through as well, pretty close to, like, you're falling as well. Like, Henri, you're at the edge and it's pulled you up and over. Freya, you are through at this point, and Henri, you are getting ready to dip up and over.
Fuck.
So Ping is
So it's
dangling in
only Kaz?
midair.
Only
Freya?
Kaz, right? Because Ping is right behind me dangling, and then Kaz is the only one braced up there right now.
Yep, so now that Freya has gone up and over and has pulled you, Kaz, make another strength check.
Kaz.
As you are, like, on your knees.
Yeah.
As you are on your knees, as the group goes, Ping goes through, and you're like, fuck, and you're, like, on your knees, like, holding on, and you're, like, literally staring down at Ping, and you look up as you watch Freya catch herself on the edge, and you're like, thank God. But you notice behind her, Henri is having a hard time getting anything of purchase, and bumps Freya at the last second as you watch Freya's eyes go wide as she goes through. And the momentum of Ping and Freya hit the line and give you a giant tug. It pulls you, and you actually manage to stick both arms out and catch yourself. So you're staring straight down 1,000 feet, watching Ping and Freya dangling in midair as you have braced yourself now. Kaylin, I would say at this point, you've managed to pull yourself up right behind Kaz, and you're just standing there now.
That's it.
Make one more strength check at disadvantage.
Strength or athletics?
Yeah, I would say actually you're right. Athletics, because you're getting ready to dip over the edge.
There's one.
Come on, stay up high.
You gotta be fucking shitting me!
You haven't gone completely over, but you've gone over, and you are now fingertips holding on to the bracing.
Holy fuck.
So you're dangling in midair right now. So, Morn, what are you doing?
Why did I think this path was a good idea?
Well, I'm still braced, and my sister is still kind of, she was reaching down to help Kaylin. I'd assume she's.
She's just laying there now.
I'm
Kalen
a-
has gotten himself
yeah, so
up and on.
I'm assuming Selena is gonna start bracing again, like look for a way to brace. But Kaylin climbed up on the other side, right?
Yes.
Like my
Yep,
sister
he-
wasn't able. My sister didn't pull her up that direction. He's
Nope.
up onto the platform that Kaz is on.
Correct. Kalen is on the opposite, like there's like a 2 or 3 gap right now of like the bracing that Kalen has managed to pull himself up on the other side that he kind of fell through, and he's standing on a bracing of like four braces with Kaz, as Kaz is like face down, like braced out, like arms just flat out, like holding on to whatever he can get.
Well, then I guess I'm gonna have Selena and I both of us just get into as good of a like hold position as we can.
Okay.
And just lock in case something happens to Kaylin or Kaz.
Okay.
Because we can't quite pull that well right now.
So Ping is going to try and make a climb up. Oh yeah. I don't know what his stats are, but I rolled a natural 18. So you watch as Ping grabs the rope and starts to pull himself up towards Kaz. He's actually like right in front of your face, and he's grabbed onto the bracing in front of you and begun to pull himself up and over. Kind of like next to you. He's like grabbing onto your cloak and your body, and he's like, don't let me down, like grabbing onto you.
I'm effectively hanging between people that
You are literally
having
just
better fingertips.
dangling. Yeah, you're dangling in the air right now.
I'm on fingertips, trying not to fucking let go.
Yep. So, Kaz, make a strength check. Henri, make a strength check.
Just strength.
Just strength.
Can I do one too since I'm on the same brace as Kaz?
Are you help? So Kaz, you can roll that with advantage if Kalen's gonna help
okay.
you pull or brace, or Kalen, if you're actually gonna like reach over him, you can make your own separate strength roll to see if you can help Ping get.
Oh wait, D&D Beyond has dice now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
why it
annoying.
was all weird.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it seems cool, but it's not.
Yeah, that
You
seems
want me
cool,
to-
but it's not.
you want me to re-roll it in roll 20 for you? Because I rolled a 22 in
I
D&D
believe you.
Beyond.
I believe you. So, you've reached up now and begun to pull yourself up and over, and you are reaching, bracing, and just pulling yourself up and on. You're about waist deep, right, like waist high right now, as you're pulling it up. And Freya, you're just kind of like swinging back and forth between the two. So, Kaylin,
Oh,
are
how big
you-
is this gap? Because I wouldn't even be able to pull myself up on either side because I'd pull the other person off. Is it a big gap or is it fairly small?
It's fairly small. Yeah, I believe you, Henri. Don't worry about it, man.
Let me save this screenshot real quick.
Kaylin, are you helping Kaz, or are you doing your own?
I'd like to make my own because my strength modifier is higher and I still have advantage thanks to enhance ability.
Do it up.
Yeah, natural 20.
Oh, baby.
Kaylin,
Kaz, you begin to slip and feel your face like go forward, and you're like, oh, fuck, and you start to like ass over end, like dip down as Ping is like climbing up and pulling you. and you feel Kalen just reach down and grab both of you guys, and he's like, no, and starts to pull you guys just up. Like he sits down with all of his armor and just begins to pull each one of you guys up.
Ooh.
Then
My God.
The rolls are
My
real
God,
wide.
indeed.
I need a hero.
Okay,
try and
so
climb on.
Ping is up. Kalen, you are up. Kaz, you are up. You guys are all standing on the same bracing, just FYI. And Henri, you are on the other side. You've managed to get yourself up now. Freya is the only one you're not like fully, like you can reach up and grab the bracing now because both sides have like been pulled taut, you know. So you're like swinging between the two, and you've like slowly been pulled up with the two people.
I have.
Freya, you're up.
Oh.
You've managed to get yourself up.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. So Freya, you're kind of like, you're able to reach up and grab the bracing yourself if you want.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab the bracing probably on Ray's side just to not add more weight to the bracing that everybody else is on.
Correct. Okay.
Smart.
Do I roll anything?
Yes, roll strength if you're trying to pull yourself up. And you can roll it with advantage if Henri's going to help you.
Yes.
No need.
You won't need it though. Freya, you managed to get onto the bracing, and you are like full panic mode after like swinging in the air for 5 minutes and staring down thousands of feet. You pull yourself up with like daft quickness, like just, I don't want to be dangling anymore. You guys are all standing on the bracing once again, where there's 2 gaps now.
I'm just gonna look back at everybody else with wide eyes, like, fuck.
Well, the path was designed for dwarves, I suppose. And none of us are.
They make it with their eyes closed. You just be careful where you walk, I guess.
That's for you to take up with the dwarves, not me.
I definitely will be.
Okay. They might have made it 1,000 years ago.
Could have made it better. Could have just died. I'm gonna like brace myself back up against the side of the mountain and continue walking forward and catch my breath.
We should spread out as much as we can. Not sure how strong this rottwood is.
I'll try not to put too much stress in one area at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea to me.
Okay.
Continue
So you
walking.
guys spread out a little bit and just continue walking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys continue to walk. About an hour, 2-3 hours. Like, not midday, but kind of like 1-2 o'clock, like lower afternoon kind of sets in. The sun's kind of high in the sky and begins to wane a little bit. You guys look up about 200 feet ahead of you, and there seems to be like a 10 by 10 section, like another platform that comes out of the wall, and you see almost like a like 2 or 3 little huts, like little homes, bedded up against the mountain.
Little huts that are on this path.
Mm-hmm.
This path is really small, though. So they're like built into it. Is there like a little alcove kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. There's like a little 10 by 10 alcove / like platform, and up against the mountainside there's like 2 or 3 little huts, like built into the mountain.
Might be a good place to take a rest.
Aye.
Pretty secure.
We're gonna
Built into
need
the
it.
rock and all. There's,
Got another long day ahead of us.
do we want to destroy some of this bridge so they can't follow us?
I was just thinking that, but Andre, do people use this bridge still for travel or trade or?
Well, not really, right?
Very, 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 very rarely. Like last option type shit.
I don't think anyone should be using this anymore.
I definitely don't think we'll be seeing anyone along here.
More importantly than people using it ever again, we probably don't want our friends behind us.
That's what I was
Catching up to us.
thinking.
So you look back and you see 3 cloaked figures. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck off! No way.
And they still have to figure out how to get up 1,000 feet without that pulley, but I think breaking the bridge could be helpful.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
All right.
The lightest person should do it. If something goes wrong, we can pull you back up.
I immediately changed my height to be 7 feet tall. I'm like super dummy, like the Rock. I look like the Rock right now.
Okay. You guys watch as more, or not more, but Kaz, all of a sudden just like does a couple of things and he's like 7, he's like as tall as Morn, a little bit taller and just like thick. Just thick.
Andre, Freya, let me know which one of you guys want to do it, and we'll hold the rope.
That's fucking cheating.
Wait, which one of us want to do what? I missed that part.
He said the lightest one should probably step out and cut the bridge.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was actually going to suggest that I was going to untie myself, but...
So, since I'm humongous, it's going to have to be one of you two.
Yeah, so...
No, the rest of us will be fine. Catch you fall.
Yeah,
I'm in my...
so I'll untie myself then.
Don't untie yourself.
Well,
You're breaking down the bridge. I mean, that you're not going to want to be loose out there.
On the other side, but like, am I dragging everybody with me?
You're not dragging the 6 of us down.
Not if we're all in the...
No, I mean like
Little
to
alcove.
go cut the bridge, I guess. But I was up in the front, so I'm coming to the back. So that's why I was saying I was going to untie myself.
I mean, I think there's plenty of space to work around in this alcove.
Okay, so how do you plan to cut the bridge? Because the bridge, it's not even a bridge. It's basically like pivot points cut into the mountain and wooden boards shoved into these. And then at the end of the boards that are up against or like the farthest away, like out in the open, is chain link.
I'll take out my other great axe, my like non-bear one.
Okay.
Hand it to Frey and be like, "You ever swung an axe?"
Once or twice.
Show us how it's done.
Which axe?
The one that's not the bear.
I mean, I have a hammer. Not a great hammer like a weapon, just like a regular hammer.
Extra one, I don't need it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go up a little ways away and take a swing. What
I
should
have a hand
roll?
axe if you prefer.
Yeah, hit die.
Okay.
Hold on. Hit die, hit die. What would I use? What should I roll?
First and foremost, is she even strong enough to lift that axe?
I had a great axe. I have a hand axe if she prefers.
The hand axe then.
I was gonna say, I don't know if she can lift that the great axe.
Yeah,
You probably hand it to her and she'd be like,
yeah, take this instead, and I'm gonna pull out a hand axe from my.
All right.
These are
and
for throwing. No,
then what should I roll for dice then?
just roll a d20. See if you can hit it. Anything above an 8. Okay, never mind.
Well, I didn't add any modifiers or anything to that.
you can add your strength to it.
Oh, but let's not do that because my strength is -1.
6. So you watch as Freya walks out like 5 or 6 rungs out onto this bridge, and you watch her go. and nothing happens to this wood board, this bracing, as she just is like hacking at it.
I'm gonna look back and kind of shrug. I don't know. Maybe they're made of steel. They're not breaking.
Don't drop me. And I'm going to take out my great axe and start walking out onto the bridge. Well, that works.
I'll sigh and I'll just mentally conjure a giant fucking hammer and I'll start smashing the boards from far away.
Okay. So, how far out does 60 feet, right?
Yeah, 60.
Okay, so you're able to take out like a good chunk of the bridge, so you just start hammering at the boards. So it takes out 60 feet worth of boards. The chain link kind of just swings in the fray. Like the boards that are holding everything together are gone, but the chain link is still linked and is bolted into the stone where you guys are now. So there's the actual walking portion is gone, but the chain link that runs alongside of all the boards is still hanging there.
Hmm.
And the
But is this something that can be?
are making their way quickly across.
Are they
Wait.
actually?
Stop doing that, God!
I'm gonna punch you.
So is that something? Is that a surface they can still walk on though? Is it a walkable surface? Well, I'm standing right there looking at it.
It's chain
It's a
link.
chain. I mean, it would be like a really loose tightrope,
Correct.
which would be almost impossible to.
Fuck, then we're fine. Job well done.
In theory. It's only 60 feet. I mean, you better hope they can't fly.
Well, I mean, if they can fly, then we're screwed anyway.
I mean, obviously. I mean, if we fly, then we wouldn't have expected the trolley. We're just trying to slow them down to the best of our knowledge. So.
They're actually 3 shape-shifting dragons. We're fucked.
Quick, Henri.
Shit.
I mean, you guys are good. You guys got fucking
Quick,
claws.
what?
Do the thing. Do the thing. Is there dragons behind us?
Are you actually seriously asking me?
This is obviously all
In jest.
ridiculous DM banter. There's dragons. They're shape-shifting dragons.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go in one of the huts and lay out my bedroll.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I
we've done all we
see
could do.
down the path legitimately? Does there appear to be anything of
Well,
note
perception.
back
Okay. With that roll, you're able to see a far way back along the trail and how it kind of winds along the mountain, and you lose it about like 200 feet back because it takes a big wind around an actual corner of the mountain side. As far as you can tell, nothing. Nothing looks like it's following you or made its way up. Nothing is flying behind you or looks off. So,
I say we take a quick rest because we need it, and then we need to get moving right away again.
and at this point, it's probably around 3 in the afternoon.
I really need some HP.
And we'll at least do a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Okay. Guys taking a short rest? Okay.
Yeah,
do-
so go over to the little huts. Actually, so walking up and into these little huts, are they just like crude, empty little buildings?
Yep, they're like little hovels, like little houses. Almost from what you can tell, they almost look like a rest area. Like if you were on the road, it's like that. It's like a little rest area. Somewhere you can stop. There's like a little latrine in the back that's got a hole in the bottom of it, and you like just out of curiosity, you like look over and look down, and the hole literally goes straight through the mountainside and like out 1,000 feet below you. So you're pretty sure like literally you take a shit and it like all the way through.
Lovely.
And there's they're very worn down, but to your right in some of these buildings, there's like little hammocks set up and little beds. So you assume this is kind of like a halfway stopping point type deal.
I'm gonna walk up to the hammock and like hunker down in it.
You're gonna lay down in the hammock?
Don't fucking roll anything.
Okay. You lay down in the hammock?
Why are you asking me again?
Okay, you lay down in the hammock.
How comfortable is it?
Huh?
Why do you gotta do this shit to me? You're giving me PTSD. You like roll the dice and you ask me again.
It's old and dusty.
Yeah, but
so-
you keep asking like I want to like change
Yeah,
my.
because you don't tell me what you're doing. No.
Oh,
You
you
just,
did.
like,
I
you're
said,
just-
I
you
said I'm
said
gonna
you walked up to it. And, so I was
and
like,
hunker
"Alright."
down and hunker down in it.
Okay, sounds good. After 5 minutes, it snaps and you're laying on the ground.
Actually.
Actually.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sigh and just stay where it fell.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, it's probably 1,000 years old, so what do you expect? I was just rolling to see if the ends of it are gonna hold up or not. Calm down. I mean, just because I'm rolling doesn't mean I'm.
Don't tell me
always
to calm
hurt you.
down. You do this shit to us with your rolls, and then you like smirk at the camera, and then you ask us again.
She is right.
You ain't seen shit yet. I'll kill you, Andre.
Oh, there's a threat again. Empty
I mean-
threats.
I've killed you guys once before. I'll do it again.
Bullshit.
Okay, sounds good. What you rolling there, Caitlin and Kaz?
Hit dice.
Just hit dice.
Oh, okay, I'm like, what's going on there, guys?
How
Got
many
you.
hit dice do we get? How long are we
8.
resting?
A short rest. So you can do 8. Up to 8.
Damn.
Damn.
My bad.
And I'll also take this hour to do some enhanced ability weaving, because why not?
You just like start resting as you're like,
That shit always
You can rest
confuses
while
me.
doing light activity.
How do I roll the hit dice again? I've only ever done this like one other time.
What is your hit dice? It's under.
14.
14?
You
Wait,
have a
what?
couple of issues and you have to backtrack yourself a couple of times because you make a couple of stitches and they don't work out the way you want, so you have to redo the stitches. So you pull them out. You make a little bit of progress, but you have to go back a couple of times
Fair enough, fair enough.
as the item that you are making is making headway, but it's taking a little bit longer than you anticipated.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do D10 plus Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
which is 0.
Con.
You get 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm dumb.
Sorry, I'm at full.
So That'd have
Jesus
been-
Christ.
24.
I mean, you add your constitution for each dice. Each die.
Yeah.
Right? So that
And where is everybody right now? Are you guys all in the little huts, or are you guys just laying on this little platform?
Selena and I are sitting in a hut.
Yeah, I would go into a hut.
I want to just be on the platform, kind of doing a lookout. I mean, I know we're not doing a long rest, but
So Kaz, roll perception.
Yeah. I'm also chilling outside,
So you roll
not looking around.
you roll perception with advantage then.
Me?
Mm-hmm. Kaz, perception, Honore with advantage. Jesus Christ, Honore, you should fucking like burn everything.
You
that
said
I-
Henri was with advantage.
I did. So roll one more time. I'm just saying she should probably burn everything that she's rolling with. Okay. You guys are sitting there along the edge, and you guys are just just taking that breath in, looking out over, it's a gorgeous view. You can see the ocean for miles and miles, along with this almost like this cloud layer, and the bridges to your left and your right. And as you sit there, Kaz, you're the first one to spot it, but in the distance, you see this white dot out in the distance kind of loop around and dive towards the ocean. And it hits the ocean. And you've never been to the ocean before, but for some reason, that blip in the ocean, like where an eagle swoops down and it picks up a fish out of the ocean, and it leaves like a little like a divot in the ocean, like the ripple. It looks a lot bigger than you anticipate. As you watch, as you think it's a bird that hit the ocean, but you're like, well, that's really far away. That's really far way away to like a bird to be hunting. And you think about it.
Yeah.
And you think about it, and you're like, wait a fucking second. And as you watch this white shape swoop up and leave the ocean, what it's bringing into the air is much. It just seems to like whatever it is that is bringing out of the ocean is just continuously. It just seems like it's long and long and long, and it whatever is dragging out of the ocean just continually keeps coming, almost like a snake. And you watch after a couple of seconds, it reaches where it's completely got whatever it is out of the ocean, and it does a corkscrew, and you watch it dive up and head its way back towards the mountain overhead of you as you watch whatever it is swoop over the top, and it almost it's like rain. You can feel the droplets of rain, and you taste the rain, and it's not. Cass passes first.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Mark the date, boys.
True.
Fucking hell.
It's
Oh, Jesus.
I wrote it down.
I'll drink to that.
It has been a long fucking time since Kaz passed a perception roll.
I will take a drink to that.
Yes.
And as the water hits your face, you kind of wipe the raindrops away, and it tastes of seawater. Salty. Andre, you're sitting right next to him, and you don't notice it until it's almost several hundred feet above you. You notice the white shape float, fly above, with this long black whatever hanging below it, as you almost get a burst shower, like a rain shower, like a burst shower, and you're like, well, what the fuck? And you taste it, and it tastes salty like seawater.
What? You saw that and felt that?
I think that was your friend.
I don't think so. The dragon that we've had in our tribal legend for a long time is a black dragon.
Oh,
That one, whatever that was white.
Our friend.
that might have been my friend.
Yep.
Oh, you've got a dragon friend, have you?
Kaz is using the word friend very loosely.
Oh. Oh shit. Whoever's friend it is, it looks like it found his dinner. I'm glad we didn't take that boat across the water.
Hey, I'm also glad that our friend didn't see us. I wouldn't fancy a visit right now.
Well, at least he'll be fed.
Hey.
Natural
through that.
one.
What?
I said natural one on his perception.
I'm gonna turn towards Selena and be like, "Oh yeah, dragons are real."
I don't know if you would have seen that, because you guys would have just been within your little hovels.
But they're talking about it.
They're like a couple. I mean, they're a couple feet away out. I mean, unless they're yelling it.
I can't hear it. I won't say anything.
Fuck no.
We're
I know
probably
these
being
mountains
quiet.
too well to know that being loud is a death sentence.
Correct. You know the shit that lurks these mountains are not pleasant creatures.
I'm
And
gonna
they're
hop
all
up.
very, very perceptive, generally.
I'm gonna hop up off of my fallen hammock and walk out of the little hut and be like, "Shall we?"
Yeah, how long has it been?
We'll say
I mean,
it's been the full short rest, the hour.
Can we, before we leave, can I take out? I have 4 tomes that I got from the warlock's hut
Yep.
the first time we went. In the passage in the bottom that I've never looked at. Can I look at those and see if I can read them or discern what they are?
Yes, I actually forgot about those. So, one is an orc. Another one is in a language I don't think you understand. How many books did you have?
4.
4. Another one is an orc, and and the last one is in common. The last one in common is it's basically tactics, like war tactics, and the many human generals of the centuries, of the decades, and their fighting styles and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll keep it, but it's boring, and I'll put it back in my bag.
Yeah, you read it for just a little bit, and you're like, "The fuck is this?"
Not interested. And then the others I can't read, so I'll tuck them away.
Yep. So you have 2 that are in orc and 1 in or in a language that you don't understand.
Okay.
What are you looking at over there?
Some books I stole from the warlock.
Oh. Are you able to read them?
Nope. Only this real boring one, all about battlefield tactics and things I don't care.
Does sound pretty dry. Are any of them in Orcish?
I think that these 2 are. This third one is something else. I don't know. These 2 look like Orcish to me.
I know a little bit. Maybe I could try see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, take a look. I'll hand them over.
Okay.
And I'll take a look.
Which one are you reading first?
So
So there's one that is a older, like a much older leather-bound book. It almost feels like if you were to open it, it'll just like disintegrate. The other one is very new. It is leather-bound as well. It has like the little like strap where you bring it over and then you just kind of like wound it up, and it's very, very new.
I'll look at the new one.
The new one?
Yeah.
Okay. And you begin to read?
Yes.
Okay. It is a diary. It is notes, a compendium of Gromash's studies, what he's been up to, his life. It delves into everything.
I also collected an old book when we were there.
Yes, you did.
I completely forgot about that. So while they're doing that, I'm actually going to pull the book and the scroll that I got from his desk while we were there.
Okay.
And you said they were like an orcish or goblin, yeah?
Nope. I didn't
They
say
were.
anything.
No, you said, could I read Abyssal or Orcish? I guess I wouldn't know what language it is. So I'm going to walk up to Kaylin just because Kaylin was helping me with the other book. And I'm going to hold the scroll and the book out to him and ask if he can read them.
I can certainly try.
Okay, what languages do you read, Kaylin?
Well, I was transcribing the Skinbound book, so I do speak Abyssal.
Correct.
No Orcish, though.
Anything else?
Elvish and Infernal.
Okay, so you're not able to read the book. You are able to read the scroll. The scroll is in Infernal.
Not Abyssal this time. Interesting.
This one the scroll talks of a deal being struck between the Orcish race and the 8th level of hell, between the prince of that area to send forces, like an invasion type troop or assassins. And it basically breaks down the 5 targets of the Empire that they are wanting to eliminate. Basically it being the Barons and the Council of 6 and a couple of heads of nobility that would strike fear into the Empire.
Mm.
And then it outlines like a contract. So like basically, however, it's like it talks of like the the selling of X amount of souls per assassin or per soldier that is being sent from the gates of hell, basically, to assist Grommash or this orc army. And it basically just talks of like it basically outlines the targets being targeted and then why, and then from there it's like the rest of this, like the scroll, is just a contract. It's basically like a legal repertoire, you should say. Like all the legal mumbo jumbo as you read it. It talks of like the sell for one soul of another soul, and if the breaking of the contract happens before the finishing of the contract is complete, then this is null and void, and it's a very, very legally binding document.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to read either of them?
This book, no, but I could definitely read the scroll, and this is quite different from what we've come upon so far. It was fiendish in nature. It seems that the orcs were contracting assassins from the 9 planes of hell, specifically the 8th level, to assassinate various key figures of the Empire, including the Council of the 6.
Wow.
It's perplexing, though. Why directly attack when they would just send assassins? What's the
Right.
point of storming Fort Thromgard if they're just going to do the deeds silently?
Very strange. I feel like we're missing some pieces.
Indeed.
Maybe this book has some more answers in it, but you couldn't read it.
No, I couldn't.
I'm gonna walk up to Kaz and hand the book to Kaz. Can you read this?
What languages can you speak, Kaz?
Common, Elvish, Goblin, Draconic.
It doesn't make any sense to you.
I don't think I've ever seen it before, Freya.
Hmm.
I might know this language, but I can't read.
So you know languages, but you can't read. That does
Okay,
not
so
help.
hold on. Just to make sure this isn't funny. Morn, what languages can you read?
Elvish and Primordial.
No.
Damn it.
Walk over to Henri.
What's still left? Sylvan?
Can you read this?
Let me see what languages I.
Draconic? No. Demonic? That's
Uh,
Yeah, I can read Draconic, Celestial,
be Celestial.
Elvish.
Freya, you're able to read it.
Wait, time out. Let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, Celestial.
Sweet.
It makes sense to you, Freya.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I got this. Or
Hey,
exactly.
Andre, can you read this? Actually, fuck you.
I swear I
Oh,
thought
you you can't? Thanks a lot, dumbass. I'll do it myself.
Time out, guys. I can't read it. Sorry, I was looking at it upside
She
down.
hands it to Andre and then just like slaps it back out of her. That's a fucking joke. Back off. Thanks.
All right then.
I can read it.
That was good whiskey. You almost made me spit up. Thank you. Okay, so you actually are able to read it. It is a breakdown of the ascension to godhood. It talks of the how long do you want to read it? I guess you should say. I would give you an hour for the short rest. Because I'll say that it's light reading that you can read while you take a short rest and you lay on the ground. So for an hour's worth of reading, I will give you this. It talks of the gods, how the gods became, how they were formed. It talks of several lower gods, how they became gods. It talks of several lower gods, how they became gods through kind of like Hercules, like good deeds, doing things for these other gods, earning favor, and basically upon their death being granted that ascension. And then it talks of 3 gods. 2 gods of the evil realm, and how they ascended to a demigod / god form by doing certain things, acquiring power. It specifically speaks of one of them who you recognize as Seville. Seville is one of the first names that was mentioned in the skin-bound book.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the third one. The third Undying.
The third Undying. It speaks of him and how he ascended to a semi-godhood. And it doesn't outline specifically how he did it, but it outlines some things that he did. And that's all you get to within that 1 hour of reading.
Okay. I'll just put the book back in my pack then for now. I'll also relay to the group that information about that book, that it looks like it talks about how the different gods made it.
You get the gist. It's basically not like a memoir, but something to that extent. like a historian made this book and cataloged the gods. So basically, probably somebody of Kalen, like Kalen's faith, somebody of like holy person had formed this and put this together.
I'll kind of relay that information. But I still have some reading to do on it, so I'm not quite sure.
I wonder if Gromash thought that he was going to ascend.
Maybe
Certainly possible.
trying to actively. Seems that might have been the case.
Seems that he might have achieved a partial transformation, but his battered body couldn't take it.
I can't say I really
Sure.
like the way about it.
What does trapping souls in a book have to do with becoming a god?
One thing, Kalen, did you take during the short rest, or did you take a nap, or did you just kind of like sit down and stitch?
I just sat down and stitched.
Okay, nope, just asking.
Should probably get going. Shouldn't linger here any longer than we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
To go.
Yeah.
you guys continuing on?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I will
Okay.
look at those other books later.
Okay. So, in the essence of time, to get to something a little more fun, since nobody's checking, roll. We'll just roll one more d20. Just straight d20.
Everyone.
Should we do it in the marching order that we're going to go in
Yes.
to make it easier?
Yes. Freya? Ping?
I guess you're going to do ping, right?
Yep.
We'll do Selena's first, then mine.
Okay. So this one kind of evens out a little bit. We'll say, just because, we'll say you guys have a similar experience of what happened before where the joists actually start to break out on you and the chain link actually starts to swing out. You do manage to catch it early enough, Morn and Andre. You guys are able to quickly move across the areas and catch the entire party to keep the line taut enough so that nobody falls through. Kalen, Kaz, you guys have issues a couple of times making your way across and actually stumble and start to fall through. But with Morn's high roll, you guys are he manages to keep it taut enough so that you lose balance, but you never really fall. You kind of more dangle for a split second until you find your footing.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely prepared to grab it and pull it taut.
Yeah.
Whenever.
So we'll say towards the end of the day now and actually getting to be really, really, really late, I would say probably, we'll say around 8 o'clock at night. You guys do make your way to the end of this like path, and it brings you to another platform, about another 10 by 10 platform with some like little huts against the mountain again. And then to the kitty wampus, like right around the corner, is a like an open doorway with almost like another little trolley system.
Say no reason to rest. We should keep going.
Let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be back on the ground.
Agreed.
So
And then
make a
make-
strength check, Mr. Morin.
I will help.
Do it with advantage. 10. It is stuck tight and not moving.
Karate chop it.
I mean, I guess I can just try it again.
I mean, maybe.
I'm gonna kick it.
Okay, you can try one more time. Okay. You tug on it the first time and nothing happens. You get kind of frustrated and you take a step back and you kick it this time. And when you kick it, everybody that's in the trolley right now, it just releases and you guys start to free fall.
I'm gonna grab the rope.
Oh,
Okay, make a strength check at disadvantage.
Oh shit.
It is sliding through your hands, and the rest of you guys that are watching more grab this rope, you can actually start to see smoke around where his hands are grabbing the rope.
I'm gonna also try and
Who's in the cart and who's not?
Everybody's in the cart, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
check.
Yep.
Instinctively, if it's falling, I'm gonna grab it.
Do it at disadvantage as well, because it's... Yep.
God.
Is this like an elevator where there's a top?
Kind of. It's open, though. I mean, there could be a top, but it's just open. It's just like basically like a big cube. Like an open top.
Like the frame is there, but the center is open space, open air. Okay.
Freya, you reach out and you start to grab it, and you can't even get a hold of the rope as it's flying through Morn's hand, and he's holding it, but it's starting to burn. And at this point, you take 4 points of just damage, just force damage, as it's just like burning through your fingers right now, and you are just doing your best to slow it.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell to Morn and Freya and anyone who's holding the rope to let go.
Okay, so Kaz.
And I want to.
I'll let go.
I'll let go.
That can cover 5. I want to. I guess I'll do Morn, Freya, Kaylin, Henri, Ping first, and then I actually want to cast it a second time for myself and Morn's sister.
Okay, I was gonna say I ain't covering everybody.
Yeah, so I'll let them go. Their kind of parachutes launch. Morn's sister and I am still falling, and then after a couple seconds, I'll cast the second one for us.
Okay, so Morn, you can't seem to get a good hold on the rope, and it's just continually going through your hand, and you can feel the flesh being seared off of your like the palms of your hand. And all of a sudden you're floating. And you're just floating in place as you watch your sister and Kaz continue to plummet. And then 6 or 7 seconds later, they're floating as well.
Thank you, Kaz.
Hopefully that works. I mean, we only have 360 feet from where the spell was cast.
So, my next question is, okay, so it lasts for a minute. Okay.
Oh wait, no, we have 600 feet because there's 10 rounds in a minute. So 600 feet before we start falling again.
I've got 2 more slots, so if we start picking up speed as we get close to the ground, we can hit it again.
Okay. Several minutes go by. And you guys start falling again.
I'll go in that same order I did last time.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Those people are floating. Boom, boom. You again. The sister are floating. Another couple moments go by. And right before the spell ends and you're getting ready to free fall again, you're about 10 feet up. And all of a sudden you fall and you hit the ground before you can even cast again.
So,
And you...
10 feet.
Yep. So you guys are on the ground level standing within the, corridor.
Everybody-
Probably.
Did everybody make it okay?
Everybody broke up a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Yes, everything's okay.
I mean, we could have died. So,
And there's
Thank
like
you.
pieces of the little trolley all around you guys.
It definitely could have gone worse.
I mean, Kaz saved us from imminent death.
Well, I'm glad I didn't have to cast it on the side of the mountain.
Yes. Then we would have definitely been in trouble.
Aye, there's not a whole lot going on below.
I'm sure that Morty eventually would have gotten the trolley to stop, but I didn't want him to burn his hands too bad.
It worked out. Okay, so we're at the bottom, and what's around us aside from pieces of the cart?
Landscape. Trees, brush. Make an intelligence check, Henri.
Could it be survival?
Or survival, sorry. Well, no, intelligence. No, intelligence.
Fine. Not that.
Okay.
Hey, there you go.
What the fuck? Roll 20.
It was meant to be.
You don't need much. You recognize the landscape. You are about 3 miles from your clan's grounds, and you're about 2 miles south of Jupiter. You
Oh.
recognize the landscape and the way it's laid out.
Good. Good.
You don't have your exact bearings, but you know generally where you are.
If I keep moving, I might be able to find landmarks that could help
That
me
might register a little more for you.
find the
yes.
way.
Mhm.
Oh, good.
Go.
We're definitely close to Jupiter, as well as my home.
Jupiter, not your home.
No, I grew up in a village in this forest, not too far from here. Always had good relations with Jupiter, though.
Should we go there? Do you still have family there?
Not anymore.
Hmm.
Do we just go to Jupiter then?
Aye, that would be best.
Oh, let's go then.
You don't have any, and no childhood friends you'd want to see, huh?
I'm not going back there for a long time.
Hmm. Sounds like maybe you didn't leave on the best terms.
You could say that. There's visible, like, not rage, but like bordering on angry disappointment in my face. It's kind of a weird expression, really.
Well, if it's important to you to pass through, we don't have to stop. We can go around.
Aye. To Jupiter.
Although somewhere to rest for the night would be nice. I don't know if Jupiter's within walking distance for before nightfall.
You would know generally you could probably make it to Jupiter by about 10:30. About an hour and a half ish. That's how far
Okay.
out you guys are.
If we push on a bit more, we can easily make Jupiter before the night grows too old.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
Let's go then.
I long for the safety.
We'll be
Guys-
safe. We'll be safe in Jupiter.
Yeah, you guys make your way, the journey, you're spotted by the scouts. You identify yourself, Henri, and are led towards the city. You do the normal pat-down routine that you guys are used to. Make your way into the city, and you are within the safety of Jupiter. The first thing that comes out of anybody's mouth is ping. I could really use a drink. How about you guys?
Oh,
Took words right out of my mouth.
I'm
To the bars
Yeah.
it is.
just tired, lost for words. I need a drink.
So,
Get wasted somewhere safe.
let's see here. Okay, I have not transferred those notes over yet. Jupiter, 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 Jupiter.
Yeah, I was gonna say this isn't Jupiter music.
Be happy, uplifting.
Yes.
So you guys would be going towards either the Diggers Inn or the Diggers Inn is kind of like the go-to middle of the road inn with establishments. You know it to be a place where a lot of people stay when they come into town. But you know the good drinking spot is called the Beggar's Foot. It's kind of a little more of a divey bar, but the beer is brewed freshly every day, and you know that they have lots of drinks and pretty much anything you could want. If you wanted to dive into illicit drugs, you easily could.
Illicit in the Empire, perhaps.
Do they have any scorpion tail?
Morn. Not tonight.
How are you seriously thinking of drinking that after what happened last time?
Andre,
Helena.
you would know that once a month he does get a small bottle of scorpion tail that he buys, but it's very expensive for a shot.
If you really want to taste
Selena,
the
we
dragon,
talked to this
may have-
douchebag. He was named Thane. Complete asshole, but okay, he was loaded, and we rated his his liquor or whatever. Good shit. Like I got some pretty good I got some whiskey. I'm gonna have you try when we get to the bar. But Scorpion.
I'm gonna get the drink whiskey.
Oh no, she's had whiskey. We start them out like 11 in my village. She's 17 now. She's 6 years past drinking.
But she's been gone for almost 2 years. So
That's
yeah,
true.
It's true. Yeah, but she would have been. Yeah.
So, but whiskey aside, there was this drink that he had called Scorpion Tail. Best shit. I was out of my mind.
Yeah,
You'd love it. You'd love it.
Never again. Not for me.
Not for me either. Maybe we can stick to something a little more fun, a little less terrifying
Insane.
and traumatizing.
So you guys make your way into town. You guys make your way towards the main bar, and you make your way towards the bar, and it's lively. It's very open right now. You can hear the music, and you can hear people talking. You can hear singing. You walk to the front doors, and they are just having like a little mini party.
Open tables.
Ping walks in, sits down at the first open table, larger table, kind of right in the middle of everything, but it's open, and he grabbed it. And you see him, he throws a hand up. Waitress comes over. Can I help ya? Oh, how much would you like? I'll have, give me 3 pitchers and a bottle of your best whiskey. Sounds good, I'll be right back. He leaves.
I'm gonna take out some of the stuff from Thane's pack and just set it on the table.
Okay, so you got 1 green see-through darkened glass. You have and then 1 white see-through glass with a clear substance in it.
Bottoms up, and I'm gonna pour out. See how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 shots of the green stuff.
Of the green stuff? Okay.
Yeah. And I'll put one in front of all of us.
It's a medium grade whiskey, and when you go to give Kalen his shot, Kalen's not there.
Oh, Kalen's branched off.
Well, one more for one of us. Want it? I'm gonna turn towards Selena and ask if she wants it.
Before she can take it, Ping reaches out and grabs it and goes, "Why would I let you waste one?" and puts it back really quick.
toss one back and then shove my shot glass over to more, please.
Okay. About 2 seconds
Yeah, I'll knock
later,
one back too.
the barkeep comes to the table. He lays down 3 pitchers of beer and a bottle of a very nice looking whiskey. Ping. That'll be 1 gold and 10 silver. Not a problem. Hands him the money. Let's drink up, guys. And he begins to pour glasses.
I'll toss another one back.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys the same.
Locked up tonight, guys. We deserve it.
Kalen, about 5 minutes after that, you come to the door of the general store. All the lights are out, doors are closed, and the window seems to be closed off as well.
Damn it. I'll try and knock on the door anyway.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing.
Can always double back tomorrow. And I'll head to the temple then.
You know of the one in town, and you begin to make your way towards there. It'll take you like 10 minutes. You guys are pouring back drinks, and about 5
yeah.
minutes into the drinks, you guys are beginning to get a little lit up, and you watch Ping take another shot. Takes 3 big chugs of his beer, throws back 1 more shot, leans in. I think I'm gonna leave for a while, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Broke up. What?
Leave where?
I feel like I've forgotten what I'm here to do. Like I need to take a step back to figure out what happened to my brother, to find myself. He kind of like looks back down towards his beard. He like takes his finger and like kind of along the top of his beer glass.
Where were you going?
We had an old temple down south where all of my fellow monks got slaughtered. I might go there and try and find myself again. I feel like something's off, but I don't know what.
We all feel like that, though.
I
We all have,
understand that.
All have our goals. All have things that we need to do, and things that we're trying to fix or find out. And it's one step at a time. We're getting closer to everything.
And I get that, but I just feel like I've kind of lost sight of my goals. And I feel like just things aren't lining up. So it just
You know,
might be-
I know how you feel, but I owe you my sister's alive because of you. If you ever need help from anyone, we're all here for you. I wish you luck on your adventure, but just know that you got 5 friends here, willing to do anything for you. Call on us if you need it.
I know that, but it's... I don't know. We can talk about it again tomorrow, but I'll find you guys if I leave. I'll find you guys. For
Good
now,
luck.
right.
We'll just have, we'll just drink the night away and see what happens in the morning.
Good luck,
Aye.
and you're gonna need it because I'm out drinking you tonight.
That's never happened, and it never will, as he puts down another beer.
I'm gonna attempt to start matching every drink that Ping has.
Sounds good. And he is just
I
like
will join in.
beer down, sits for a second, shot, and then like starts doing another beer right afterwards. And he's just
Oh, yeah.
putting them back to back to back. So.
Oh, yeah, no,
takes
I'm-
you- oh,
Yeah, every shot that I pour, I'm also pouring one out for Selena.
she
That
is
we're.
already passed out. Like,
Oh
face
shit.
down and- like you look over and she's like, you thought she was still doing shots, but when you look over and you actually pay attention, there's like 6 shot glasses next to her, and she is just face down.
Yeah,
And she's got like a hand up on your shoulder, and she's just like down.
Okay, I'll take those as well.
Okay. You are fucked up. Freya, you are fucked up. Andre, you're feeling pretty good.
I specifically do not want to be messed up.
Kaz, you've got like a tiny little buzz.
Yeah, I'll have a few.
Like, you're at that moment where you're like, I know that I can like sip this beer for the next hour, and I will just constantly feel like I am right now. You're at that like perfect like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna coast. Okay.
That's a good
Caitlin-
place to be at.
Oh yeah, it's like the best. You're a
For
smart
sure.
man if you know how to hit that and then ride it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kaylin, you make your way about another 10, 15 minutes, and you find the main temple, a large, white stone building with a tower and the bell that hangs down in it. The entire building is surrounded by gardens, and then in front of the gardens there's pews and praying utensils, and at the end of the garden you see the shrine of Shantea. And it's not lit up, but you do see candlelight throughout the building.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone around?
As of like in the immediate vicinity, no. It's probably like 11 o'clock at night at this point.
Okay, yeah. I'll go up to the shrine and I'll sit down and I'll kind of enter into like my own little meditation kind of thing.
Okay. You sit down. You find that place, that happy place. You begin to take in the sight and the vision that is Shantea, your deity. You take your deep breath. Barley, wheat, flowers, freshly sowed earth. You take another breath. And you feel your body leave, or your soul leave your body and be pulled. You feel yourself sitting in a building. You look up, you see your goddess walking around a mill, churning wheat into flour. As she looks up to you and smiles. She continues for about 3 or 4 more turns. She comes over and she sits next to you and wipes her brow. The harvest is good this year. She continues to look at you in that warm, glowing smile.
Wish I could sit down and experience it, but I still have a lot of work to do.
I know, and that is why I brought you here to give you something else to fight. Knowledge. She grabs your hand, stands you up, and walks you through the door of this very beaten down looking mill, like something a beggar lives in. You walk through this door and immediately she changes from farmer's clothing and simple make to a very fine dress with golden hues, almost the color of wheat and barley that runs her entire outfit. She walks you forward, and in front of you is a vast library. I impart to you knowledge. Knowledge before the end. Knowledge before the end of magic. Knowledge before the gods were forgotten. Take of this what you will, and use to your advantage. I can't provide you much more as he's become too strong that he fights me off.
Thank you.
My help will be coming less and less as he grows stronger. You must do something.
I will. You've granted me the techniques before, and now you've granted me the recipe. All I need to do is get the materials.
Yes. The one piece of information that I will provide to you before I leave. That book. That skin-covered book that you holds so many answers. You need just to decipher it.
I understand.
Good. And as she says good, the hand reaches out towards you. It's not cold, it's not hot. But what you feel is that of the middle of the day, the low 60-degree heat as it touches your body. And you just feel like a nice autumn day. And you immediately feel yourself return to your body.
I'll open my eyes and just kind of say to myself, a lot to do tomorrow. Better get some rest early. And I'll start making my way towards the tavern.
Okay. You arrive there about 10 minutes later. Morn is absolutely fucking shit-canned. His sister is face down on the table. Freya is absolutely shit-canned. And Ping is absolutely shit-canned, trying to have a drinking match with Morn as they are pretty much only getting about 20% of their drinks into their mouths as they're just like sloshing it all over the place.
It should
And
be.
Kaz is just sitting there watching the table.
I'll just give Kaylin like a, here we are kind of look.
I'll give him a knowing look, like, yeah, I know. It's happened before.
Put my hand up to high five Morin and Ping because we're all still standing.
Do I notice Kalen walk in? Am I able to notice it at this point?
Yeah, I would say you kind of like just barely recognize Kalen walking through.
About time. And I'm gonna attempt to pour a shot for him of the green stuff. You haven't taken your green shot yet. And I'm gonna attempt to pour one out for him.
As
I'll
you
just
watch
look at I'll just look at
Morn
him.
sloppily pours this drink like in front of you, and he's hitting the table and the shot glass, and it's like all over the shot glass. And
Yeah, I'll look at him because I haven't sat down yet. I'm just kind of like standing near the table, and I'll just look at him and I'll say, not today. Kind of hardly, and you could see there's like a look of determination in my face, and I'll say, I need to go to sleep. I need to wake up early for something tomorrow. And I'll go and I'll requisition a room at the counter.
okay, it'll cost you like 1 silver piece.
Oh yeah, go ahead and lay it down.
I'm gonna very half-heartedly still be holding both of my hands up in the air.
I'm gonna attempt to high five Freya, and like as I go to high five, just kind of fall onto her.
Okay. Roll a d20 to see how hard you fall onto her. We'll say above a 15 and you're... Okay. So, 5. He rolls to hit you and, like, hits you but, like, glances off and then lands face first into the table. Ping holds it up and goes to high five and, like, completely misses and face to palms you right in the face.
God. I'm gonna look at Henri with both hands still in the air.
And now
High five.
you got it. Oh, dear. Reciprocate.
D20.
Oh shit.
It's
Hey,
above and it's bad.
hey, Ping. Might be time. Bed? Or are you drinking?
Okay. So, Freya hands up, doubles, and goes to slap you in the face, and you guys slap her, and you guys miss each other, and both palm to hands on the ears. Just like both you just slap each other.
Oh, double boxing of the year.
Fucking hell!
Give Morn a good slap on the back.
You've definitely got an arm on you. Fuck's sake.
You guys watch Ping stand up,
No high
walk
five.
towards the counter room, and like tosses him a gold coin, and like just proceeds to walk upstairs.
I'm gonna turn toward Freya and be like, ha 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 ha, and I'm gonna point at Ping, who's walking up to a room. We won.
We won.
We won.
Oh no! So as he's walking up the stairs, he stops and looks back at you. You didn't win. Shit! And throws up all down the stairs, and like the bottom of the stair entryway, and looks back up at you guys, gives you the thumbs up, and turns around and walks towards his room.
I
Oh
guess
man.
Room drop.
Did you actually roll a con check for that?
I sure as shit did. And I got a natural 1.
Oh, he's not gonna be happy about that.
One. I'm gonna collapse. Now that I know I'm victorious.
I'm also going to collapse and attempt to sleep where I'm at.
Okay. Morn goes down, face down, just out. Freya, down, face out. Kaz, you're just watching these people just like boom, 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 right in front of you. Just, okay, cool.
Is Selena out? Is she able to go to a room?
Oh, she's been out for like an hour now.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, she's PTFO to the extreme. She tried to match you shot for the first like 20 minutes, and it just failed miserably. So Kaz, you've watched now like boom, 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 and they're just like laying in front of you on the table.
I'm gonna ask the
Kalen stands off to your left.
I'm gonna ask the barkeep if for a few rooms, 3 or 4 if you have them.
Yeah, I would have gone up to my room as soon as I requisitioned it. Not standing around for this.
Deuce, 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 deuce.
And then this sounds strange, but do you also have someone that could help me carry the big man to his room?
Oh. Maybe? Shit, he's a really big guy.
Let me give it a shot.
Oh,
Trust-
okay, Henri, I don't think you can do it, but have at it.
Oh,
Let's go, Morn.
Roll a strength check.
Put him over my shoulder.
Grunt.
So let's do you get legs, I'll get feet, and we'll do it together.
Oh,
Fuck.
Oh, got him!
Oh!
okay.
Poncho.
Okay, so you guys are all like PTFOing. Kaz and Kalen are the only one watching right now as you guys watch Henri stand up and go, alright, let's go. And like grabs
Come on.
Morn and just like and like over like fireman's carry style up onto the shoulders as you guys are like, what the fuck? And Henri just
Listen,
starts like
I'll have you know,
crawling
I've
up.
backpacked through the fucking mountains with half an owlbear on my back before. This is fucking nothing.
17 miles against the snow uphill.
Both
Oh
ways.
my god.
To and from school with an owlbear on my back.
So you guys
Henri,
watch as
them
this
up.
tiny 5'7", like what, like maybe 130-pound frame
Yeah.
lifts this 6.8 foot man, 200 some pounds, and just over the head, onto the shoulders, and just like waddles towards the stairs as she like starts to go up the stairs and make her way towards the hallway.
I'm over twice your weight.
As they're as Henri's carrying Morn, I'm gonna like turn my head and point at Morn. I'm the last one standing.
Roll a con save.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, who passed out first, me or Freya?
I was
'Cause
I was laying.
we were
I was
both
face
passing
down.
out on the table.
No, I was face down on the table, but when you guys are leaving, I just turned my head, like still like laying on the table still, but I'm pointing
It
at
was kind of a tie. You guys both went down at about the same time.
still the last one at the table.
You guys are both way too drunk to remember who stayed up the latest.
If Freya's sober enough to call me out, I'm sober enough to respond. And I'm gonna attempt to roll out of Andre's hand.
Okay, so now this is the grapple check. So now this is Henri versus your athletics, right?
Oh, for
Athletics
fuck's
and
sake.
I mean, I'm at like severe disadvantage.
I mean, you're both gonna be rolling a disadvantage for both of these. Yes, you both are piss ass drunk. One just went fucking full steroids, and the other one's trying to fucking ninja roll. Contested. More. Oh, baby. So Morn goes to. No, because it's at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, ooh, baby. Okay, so, Henri, you've got a hold of thigh and like half of neck, and you're just like waddling up these stairs, and you're just like, okay, Morn, go to bed, and yep, here we go, and you just feel him go, no. I'm gonna roll at a 360-degree angle, and you're like, the fuck are you talking about? And you feel Morn kick a leg straight up into the air, and like full body twist roll, and you're just like, "Ugh," and like let go of him, and he does like this rolling kicked thing, and he hits the stairs, and in his mind, he's like touchdown, 3-point landing, and everything. But in reality, Kaz would be the only one. You see him hit the stairs and like face first, roll scorpion up over, come up and like roll into it and go face first into the wall, half roll and trip face first, hit the bottom of the stairs, stand up and go, "See, fine."
Yeah, and I'm gonna attempt to go and pour another shot.
As Morn begins to walk now across the bar.
I won.
And like half of his face is like smashed in, and he's got like a streak of blood from his nose that's running down the chin and half the face, and like he's starting to swell above his right eyebrow.
Give him a thumbs up. Hardcore.
I'm gonna pour another one out.
My fault.
I'm gonna pour another one out.
You pour another one.
Push my shot glass to him. You're going down.
I'm gonna attempt to pour Freya another shot.
You are attempting to pour the other shot.
I'm mad that you fucking fucked up my nat 20 by doing this. You
I was like kind of okay with it because I knew I needed to get to bed, and then I heard Freya be like, "I won," and it was too much.
I mean,
Instigator.
Okay.
Alright, throw the shot
You
back.
really are.
so you guys have 2 shots in front of you guys right now. 1 shot
Yeah.
each.
Taking the shot, because I'm
Yep.
not going
Throwing it back.
Okay, throwing it back. Both you guys make a con save.
Suck.
Both you guys throw the shot back and you're like, I won, and both of you simultaneously puke on the floor in front of yourselves.
I'm gonna just break out laughing.
I'm also gonna laugh.
So he's puking and laughing, so he's like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Laugh at him laughing while I'm puking.
okay.
Time to rally.
You see the guy behind the bar. Oh,
Like-
what the fuck are you doing in my bar? That's
Gwen!
fucking nasty. What are you doing? Stop that.
Time to rally. I'm gonna yell round for everyone. I'm gonna take out something else.
You're going to grab like another bottle.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could be whatever, anything random from the bag.
Roll a d6 because you only have 2 bottles left.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
This bottle is a clear brown bottle, and it only has like this much liquid on the bottom of it.
Oh, I drink it. Straight from the bottle. Straight from the bottle.
Straight from the bottle.
you're not
Yeah.
sharing?
Oh, I'll get. Is there enough to share? Is there enough to share?
You drank it.
Is there enough to share?
I mean, you drank the little bit that was on the bottom. You said that you said.
Well,
you
I
drank it.
was going to pour one out for everybody.
Okay, well, there's enough for like maybe like the tish of amount.
One.
Okay, yeah, I'll give a tish to Freya.
Okay, both you guys roll d20s.
I'm just staring in awe and like slight disgust.
I'll just lean towards Andre and be like, they do this sometimes. It's impressive and embarrassing at the same time. It's a weird thing that they do.
I mean,
Perfectly said. It literally is impressive and embarrassing.
I mean, I saw them in the cave, but this is a whole new level.
So both you guys take the shot, and you sit there for a little while, and the world kind of spins a lot. And you guys just both face down on the table. almost simultaneously, like at the same time. You guys watch them and they're like both giggling and laughing, and then they take the shot and they're like giggling and laughing, and they're like, shit, bitch. And just done.
I'm out.
Like, both of them dead silent, no words, no nothing. You just hear heads on the table, and then you hear breathing.
Well, Andre, I think I can get Freya if you can grab Morn again.
I'll do my best.
That's funny.
So, Andre comes back down the stairs like, yeah, I got this, bitch. Walks up to Marn and roll a strength check.
Nat 20.
Roll a 1. Please roll a 1.
Oh.
19.
19.
Damn.
Once again, full like pulls your you pull your your jorts up or your like, shorts or whatever the fuck, and you get down into this.
Why those?
Like you get down into a squat position, and you
Yeah.
guys watch Andre like lean back and like a sack of potatoes rolls Morn up onto her shoulders and like full stands up from a full squat, and then just starts waddling towards the stairs again.
Like I said, Owlbear.
That's canon right there. Like I said, Owlbear.
Well, we know the name of this episode.
That's a
now.
session. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a session title.
That's the title. Like I
That's
said,
like
Owlbear. And you watch as she just like powerhouses up the stairs, like just non-stop, just continues walking, and you just hear her mumbling things to herself every once in a while, and she like looks over like to Morn for like like acknowledgement, like yeah, and like keeps walking up the stairs.
I'm just telling this story of how, in my day, I
my
walked up the hills both ways through the snow to school.
half of an owlbear on my shoulder.
Exactly.
That's how I imagine Henry telling it, because you're also shit-faced.
Kaz,
I'm not as
roll a strength
shit-faced.
check.
It's pretty shit-faced.
I mean, I'm pretty light.
You manage to pick her up onto the shoulder and kind of like, okay, let's go, and like start walking towards the stairs as well.
I'm gonna cuddle into Kaz, like wrap my arms around, have like a grin on my face.
Okay.
You're a real swell pal.
I know.
It's okay.
You did a great job.
Thank you. I just wanted an acknowledgement that I won.
You won. You won. You won the shit out of it.
Okay, I know I won.
Morn's crying about it right now.
Are you an elf?
Morn, roll a d20. Let's see. Okay, you hear down the hallway. She didn't win. I win.
Wait, that was Morn?
Yeah.
Right?
I will.
Victorious.
You guys all lay down. Some of you get thrown into beds and then put on your sides. Other of you relax into your bed with determination for the next day. Some of you lay down into your bed thinking,
I'm gonna.
fuck did I get myself into?
I know they'll be okay here. So, I'll go on home.
Where's my sister at? Is she still in the downstairs?
I would assume she got picked up. Kaz probably went back down
Yeah,
and
well,
grabbed her, brought her back up there and laid her down in the same room with you close by.
Okay.
Yeah. Takes you like 10 minutes. You manage to make your way to the door. It's probably about 1 or 2 in the morning. You assume you're gonna get home to a dark, empty house and you'll crawl into bed with your husband.
Mhm.
But the moment you walk through the door, he is sitting in the living room and he greets you with open arms. He runs towards you, pulls you in, and basically molests your face with his mouth.
I'm not at all upset.
He picks you up as he continues to kiss you, walks you towards the stairs,
Mm.
and takes you upstairs as you guys both lay down and go to sleep. Actual
Yep.
sleep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm pretty tired and drunk, so
exactly.
None of those.
No anal tonight.
no, not tonight.
That's also could be the name of this episode. No anal tonight.
No anal.
Oh my god.
No.
The flip of coin at the end is either gonna be no anal
No.
tonight or like we said, Owlbear.
No. 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 That's not canon. No.
Family
Fucking
friendly.
said no. I mean, there's nothing about this channel that's ever been family friendly. I swear at least 7 times an episode, so...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's all the fucking time. You guys make your way to your beds. Some of you a little comfier than others, as you are taken to your own beds with your own likings. But all in well, accommodations are good. You are back in a clean, safe environment with a roof over your head, food in your belly, alcohol running through your system. And that's where we'll end our episode.
Woo!